up, everybody? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. And unlike some stream... No, I'm just kidding. Going on early tonight here because Joshua tried to do he tried to do something fancy, and you're not allowed to do that. He should know better. YouTube doesn't let you do anything fancy. You gotta just do the I don't know. You do whatever YouTube tells you to. I'm not ready at all. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, I thought I had like another hour, but when you know, duty calls. There we go. That's a little bit better. Hi. CiottiFPV.com has everything I'm doing. If you want to support me, if you want me to be able to do this more, because we're getting towards the end of unemployment, and there's a pretty good chance I might have to get a real job again. So if you don't want me to do that, if you want me to keep doing this full-time, as I have been for the last 6 months, CiottiFPV.com has a million ways for you to do that. There's affiliate links. There's stickers and hardware and stuff on the Etsy store. There's a Fiverr page where I will work for you. I will make you a better pilot. I will teach you how to edit. I will teach you how to build, teach you how to tune, all that good stuff. So yeah, if you want to see more of me, I don't know why you would, because, I mean, geez, look at this. But, you know, do it. And then, you know, do whatever you want down here. Click things, don't click things, it's on you. Tonight, what are we doing? Oh, tonight's a giveaway stream. Ha! We're doing giveaways tonight. We're doing some Q&A as always. R3 Red Shifters V2. I think I'm like the first person in the universe to have this. Good news! And it's not the Dacia Sandero. It's this V2 Red Shifters frame. It is stiff as hell. Those guys absolutely nailed it, I think, on this frame. And since we're streaming for 3 hours, I might even move the one tiny whoop over into this frame, and we'll see how it flies. So we'll do that. We're doing Mailbag as well. I just got some mail. And what's the last thing? CB3. Put the CB3 into a frame that's not broken. I broke one of my unibody CB3 frames on this, so I reframed it, and I just have to solder up 2 of the motors, and this will be back together. This is yeah, this is how you build a sub 200 gram rig that'll do everything that a 5-inch rig will do, just scaled down a little bit. Not quite as good quality video, not quite as much power, not quite as much momentum, but still super gnarly. Yeah, so we'll do all those things since we've got plenty of time now, and then I'll poop my pants. I promise I won't poop my pants. Unexpectedly. Words eluded him. In the chat, Icy Bird was first. Come on, chat window, get up in there. Rick Zapata, Jonathan King, Ken Hill, Acro Cheese. I thought it said Afro Cheese. Acro Cheese FPV. Acro Cheese FPV says, Ciotti it is then. Ken Hill, Patrick Ruin, Rob Axelson, Bill Grimes, Del Squatcho FPV, Nemesis, UAV Tech. Hey, UFA. Hi, Mark. Acro Cheese again, Underdog FPV, Alpha. Alpha Sloth. What? What is an Alpha Sloth? Kevin Smith, Riot 9, Rob Axelson again, Ken Hill, Acro Cheese, Afro Cheese, and Acro Cheese, and Afro Cheese, Del Squatcho again, Bill Grimes, Aber the Ham, Bad Habit, Ken Hill, Nemesis, License to Drive, Metal Dirt Skin, Lethal Rose Dose, Aber the Ham, Obese Quantazir, Stevo43068, 661, Del Squatcho, UAV Tech again, saying show JB how it's done, Tyler Harris. Hey, if you guys want to talk directly to me, type CiottiFPV into the chat. When you do that, it'll show up in orange. You can type the @ symbol in front of it, but you don't have to. Just type CiottiFPV, it'll light up in orange, and I'll know you're talking to me. Grumpy FPV 661 again. Patrick Ruan 6S full FPV. That's a cool one. That's a new account. Tyler Harris, Stock Racing Club 661 again. License to Drive again. Remy Tim in the house. Patrick Ruan, EE Doc, Stock Racing Club again. Scroll. Abraham. Animal, just Animal. Animal saying, what happened to JB? He tried to do a little dual streamy thing with It's Blunty, and it would appear that it did not work all that well. I'm sure they'll have it figured out by their next stream on... Well, maybe, I guess, are they doing that, like, are they trying to do that Monday nights, like Monday night JB and It's Blunty? If so, It's Blunty, congrats. Well deserved. If you guys don't know It's Blunty, you're missing out. Look them up. It's Blunty. Hey, mods, somebody drop a link to It's Blunty's channel, please, so that people don't have to search for him. Because I can't imagine what search results there would be if you typed in It's Blunty to YouTube. Stock Racing Club, $5 super chat, overtime pay. You're the man. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Brutal FPV, Rstang 50, Ed K, Hot Point Hoodlum. Hot Point Hoodlum says Skeetle Bop. No, Skeetle Bebop. Gusty FPV, that's a fun name. Slappy1, Daniel Smith, Carbon Kid. Oh, look. I can see in the chat where all of you guys realize that you need to post. Not that you don't need to post, but that if you do post, that I'll read your name. I see you guys. Archangel, Slappy1, Rob Axis and Slappy1 again, Ken Hill, Remy Tim, Drop Axis and Hot Pint Hoodlum and Riot9. What's up, everybody? Let me go back up to the top. I'll see who tagged me, and I'm gonna get caught up in this chat in a hot second. Hot minute? I don't know, man. I'm turning 40 next year. Leave me alone. Bill Grimes says, we are here. Del Squatcho says, Clam Man would never cut the stream short. Nemesis FPV says, you gonna start early? Remember...
諦めんなよ諦めんなお前どうしてそこでやめるんだそこでもう少し頑張ってみろよダメやめ諦めたら周りのことを思うよ応援してる人たちのことを思ってみろってあともうちょっとのところなんだから俺だってこのマイナス10度のところしじみが取れるって頑張ってんだよ絶対やってみろ必ず目標達成できるだからこそネガティブ
Never give up! Joshua, come on. Haven't you... See, this is the problem. Joshua doesn't come over and watch these streams. He doesn't know Clanman. He doesn't know about Clanman. You know? I stream right after him so that it's to make it as easy. See, the reason why I started streaming right after him was actually for him. I didn't do it for you guys or for myself. I did it for Joshua so that, you know, when he got done with his stream, he didn't even have to stand up. He could just click stop. And then he could just click on the link that I post in his stream 8,000 times. Not really 8,000 times, but... and then he could just, you know, stay seated and watch, and he would have seen Clanman. Why do I look so white? I look more white than normal. Am I a little white for you guys? For you guys. Hold on. I believe... Well, I can't adjust that. Well... I'm just gonna be white tonight. Oh wait, no, I can. All right.
Oh yeah.
That helps a little bit. Don't mind my sickliness tonight. The Kristen uses the camera during the daytime sometimes, and adjusts the white balance. And I forgot to. I got to change a bunch of things, and I forgot that one thing. But that's okay. What else do we got in the chat? Everybody say hi to UAV Tech. That's Mark Spatz, genius at large. If you're not subscribed to UAV Tech, you need to be. Mark graciously dumps all of the wonderful black box and Betaflight tuning knowledge on us for free. But you should, like with me, support him on Patreon, especially because he puts awesome extra stuff on his Patreon page. Like, I gotta start doing this. Mark, I'm completely pilfering this idea from you. You make a video, and then at the end of the video, you say, "Hey, I'm gonna take an even deeper dive into this, and I'm gonna do it over on the Patreon page," and then yeah. Away people go. So yeah, go support Mark. He's a good guy. Great guy. Doing it for a long time and dropping them knowledge bombs on us. Thank you, Del Squatcho. He said, I fucking rock. Grumpy FPV is ready here to fall asleep. Stock Racing Club says, too bad Joshua Barro's stream wasn't working. Yeah, I wanted to get on there at 8, but I was eating. So I went into his stream as it was frozen, and I'm sitting here like, what's happening? And then he came back for 1 second and said, everything's broken, goodbye. So I got to see no Joshua tonight, which sucks. I always like to spend a couple hours with him before all my streams. License to Drive says, I do have a serious question suitable for the stream to ask you. Nobody's been able to answer it on TBS's Facebook group. If you were posting the question on TBS's Facebook group, I'm probably the worst person to ask. I've only been on TBS Crossfires for like a couple months. And I don't really love the company, so I don't really pay much attention to TBS stuff. Rob Axelson, thank you for the kindness, sir. But will you do Windows? What were we talking about? I don't remember what we were talking about. Rick Cepeda says, do you start tuning on a new 5-inch with factory PIDs, or do you change them? Too much bad info out there, and we want your advice where to start. Absolutely fantastic question from Rick Cepeda. So much so that we're going to plug a flight controller in that has stock PIDs on it, and I'm going to show you because, yeah, that's a really, really, really good question. That's not it. That's a really good question that deserves a classic 10-minute Ciotti rant answer rather than yes, I do. You guys don't come here for yes, I do's. You come here for me standing on goddamn soapboxes, screaming and yelling. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at. We just started Mailbag because I pulled this out of the mail. All right, enough. Okay, so God knows what version software. Actually, I don't care. I don't care what version software this is. Oh, it's 4.1. Fantastic. Go Betaflight. So in the PID tuning tab. All right, I have to preface all of this with I build rigs with smooth motors, strong frames with the carbon fiber running in the correct direction, good electronics, not mangled props. I tighten all my screws down. I make sure that the motor screws aren't touching the wind. Right. I build rigs that out of the box fly really good. I really make it a point to not build rigs that are a hot mess that you then have to go PID tune around the hot mess to try to get it to fly. The rigs that I build, the electronics that I pick, the parts that I pick, the way that I build it, basically if I take a quad and on the maiden it doesn't fly somewhat decent, it's kind of dead to me because like that basically means that there are mechanical problems. So I won't like small stuff I'll tweak in the tune, but I'll usually just bring it back here and rip it apart and figure out what the hell's going on. So got to preface it with that. This is only going to work if you're building, if you've done a bunch of builds, you know you've got a good set of parts, and then you can go forth with this approach. So, put it into Betaflight, set up all the boring shit, and then we come to the PID tuning tab. I actually go into the filters first, and essentially what I'll do right off the bat is go to 1.2 and 1.2. That's a really safe thing to do. On a 5-inch rig, if I was on Betaflight 4.2, so this is me working within 4.1. In 4.2, I would do this same thing, but I would also, let me give you guys a little bit more. All right, that should be a lot better for you guys. In 4.2, if it's, or not if it's, the next thing that I'll actually do is literally turn the gyro low-pass filters completely off. RPM filtering and the dynamic notch. RPM filtering isn't even on in here. Let's turn it on because that's kind of important. Yeah, RPM filtering and the dynamic filter and the D-term filtering are enough on a clean rig to handle all the vibes. So keep that in mind. If you want to be, that's only on 4.2. If you're still on 4.1, I wouldn't go that far. Or if you just want to be a little bit safer, especially on the Maiden. I go pretty aggressive just because I've done so many builds. But for you guys, I would recommend going to 1.2 on both of these guys and leave it there. Get the Maiden out of the way, make sure the motors aren't burning hot, and then if you're on 4.2, you can come back in here and turn your gyro low-pass filters off. When you turn those gyro low-pass filters off, fly it. Save it, go fly it, make sure the motors aren't getting hot. Don't make 18 other changes. Just make that one change, and make sure that it hasn't made the flight performance worse, and make sure that the motors aren't all of a sudden getting super hot. In the on the bottom here, now I'm definitely going to give you guys a little bit of zoom. So on the bottom here, the gyro RPM filter, you just want to leave this alone. You do want 3 harmonics. Sometimes I'll play around with moving this minimum frequency up to 200 or so. Although lately I've just been leaving it down at 100. It's not. I don't think there's that much of a. Well, hey Mark, what am I leaving on the table by leaving this minimum frequency at 100? We talking like half a millisecond versus moving this up to 200? Or are we talking like a tenth of a millisecond? Any rough idea? Dynamic notch filter down here. This looks totally different in 4.1 versus in 4.2. So I'll show you 4.1 here. You want to go to low, and you want to go to the 0 width %. Dynamic notch Q goes up to 250, and the minimum hertz on a 5-inch rig I bring down to either 80 or 90. On a tiny whoop or a 3-inch rig, I'll actually just leave this minimum hertz alone. Leave it at the what is it, like 150 that it was just at before I changed it. And that's what I do in there. In 4.2, this filter range doesn't exist. It's automatically set. The width percentage is still in there, so you can set that to 0. The Q is still in there. You can bump that up to 250. And the minimum is also still in there. Basically, they replaced this dynamic notch filter range with a maximum. Dynamic notch maximum hertz, I think it is. And I just don't touch it. So that is what I do in the filtering. And then I come over here to the rate profile. I really, really, really recommend you guys get onto 4.2 so that you can use the actual rates. When you use the actual rates, you can set your the RC rate is replaced by like center sticks, or I don't know, center something. Move that all the way down as low as it'll go. The super rate is replaced with just how many degrees per second you want. So you just put in the exact number that you want, 700, 800, 1000, 1200, whatever it may be. And then the expo works exactly the same, and the factory setting of 0.54 expo is really good in the actual rates. The actual rates will change your life. Not really, but almost. And then we come over here to the PID profile, and I know that we should be using the sliders, but I don't use the sliders. Here's what I do. I come in here and I take the factory values and I add 10 to the P's. So 42 becomes 52, 46 becomes 56, 30 becomes 40. Man, is that low? I's I'm leaving alone, and then the D max I'm doing the same thing. I'm adding 10, 45 and 48. And then on the D min, you don't want to go up as high, so I just go up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feed forward is totally just personal preference. I don't like the way feed forward looks in the footage. I think it looks juddery and just awful. So I turn it way down, and then I also turn the feed forward transition all the way up to full strength, which is 1. Basically, but what I'm doing here is almost turning the feed forward off. I have played around with turning it fully off. To do that, you just zero it out. And it's just, I don't know. I like it with it on a little bit. And yeah, this turns it on a little bit. I-term relax, cutoff of 10, change it to gyro, and D-min, gain and advance, go up to 50 on both, and that's it. You are looking at the tune that is on most of my stuff. That's what I do right out of the box. Go fly it, see how it is, and then tweak it, and then I tweak it from there in the OSD. And it's the same process that Mark shows all the time. You go out, you do you jam the throttle, full throttle, zero throttle, full throttle, zero throttle, to see if it moves around. Flip right, flip left, front flip, back flip. Notice if there's any bounce back. Also notice how sharp the rig is reacting. So the long range rig, which you guys can't see, that's up there. The long range rig was on the pitch. So when I did that test on the pitch axis, not on the roll axis, on the pitch axis only, it was a little lazy. Like, it didn't instigate when I jammed the stick forward or backwards, the beginning to the movement was a little soft. And then the end of the movement was also, it was actually bouncing back. And the solution was more P gain. And in that scenario, it was a situation where, like, I had to kind of use my brain instead of just going into autopilot. Oh, it's bouncing back. I-term relax must not be set up properly. I-term relax was set up properly, but there actually wasn't enough P gain. A very easy way to think about P gain is P for power. It's sort of the amount of power or the amount of authority that you're giving the error correction, the PID loop. And so in this case, it's a long range rig. It's more of like a high speed rig, but it's a big fat bastard. It's like 800 plus grams, and a lot of that weight is on the pitch axis. Is spread out along the pitch axis. So it just needed more authority. Like, it was coming around from that roll, and then I was centering the stick. So it's got all that momentum built up from the roll, and it just didn't have enough P gain. It didn't have enough power in the error correction, because when I go to zero throttle, when I go to zero stick, I'm not telling it to do anything, right? I'm telling it to stop. Like, and so the PID loop is doing all the work at that point, right? Like, when you hammer the throttle, you're telling the rig, hey, give me all the power that you've got. But when you're doing these snap rolls, you're off the throttle and you're centering the stick. So the PID loop is doing all of the work at that point. I mean, it's kind of always doing all the work, but I think this is going to help you guys understand it a little bit better. But yeah, the PID loop at that point is doing all the work. You've literally let go of the sticks at that point. So the amount of P gain on the pitch axis was not enough, and it came and the rig rotated around, and there was just too much momentum, and the P gain couldn't control it, and then it went too far, overshot, and then it goes, fuck, I gotta get back there, and then it bounced back, and it was actually bouncing back like 3 or 4 times. So when I gave it more P gain, the next time it came around with the same amount of momentum, it had more authority. I had told the PID loop, hey, you can work harder, you can push harder when this thing comes around. So it did. It fired the rear props up harder because I'd given it more P gain, and it went whoop, and it perfectly stopped. That's what we're doing. Like, that's all tuning is. When like I get 2 or 3 messages a day every single day. Hey, what's your tune? Hey, what's your tune? I just built an Acrobrat, what's your tune? And every single time I get that question, the response I give you guys is, well, what's going on? Like, why are you asking me for the tune? What bad behaviors are you trying to tune out? What's it doing? How was it on the maiden? Because me giving you my tune with the motors that I have set up the way that I like it to fly doesn't really do you any good. It might make your problem a lot worse. It might cook your motors. it might fly amazing. But that's still it's just, it doesn't make any sense to do that. So for the record, don't copy and paste people's tunes in general, right? Don't ask anybody else for their, ask other people for their tunes, but when you ask them for their tune, tell them, hey, I'm not going to copy and paste this. I just want to see where you're at. Or like, hey man, I just watched your video, your tune looks locked in. Do you mind sharing like roughly what your P gains are so that I can get some, right? Like, don't just, hey, what's your tune? Because when I get a message that says, hey, what's your tune? I'm pretty sure that person is just going to copy and paste it, right? Like, I guess that's the secret. If you guys really do want to see what my tunes are, don't just ask me, hey, what's your tune? Say, hey, I'm learning to tune, and I want to see where you're at. I promise I'm not going to copy it. Because I'm afraid I would really feel horrible if I gave you guys the cranked up tune that I have on the Acrobrat and you blew your shit up. Like, that sucks, man. That makes me feel horrible. Even if you don't blame me, I'm going to blame me because that's how my shitty brain works. Hashtag mental illness. Speaking of, if you're on Facebook and you want to learn more about mental illness that myself and a lot of people in this community and the world, 1 in 5, have, over on Facebook, there's a group called FPV Therapy. We are in there. We are trying to get better each and every day, trying to just make it through, trying to survive. So come on over, learn a little bit. I promise you, well, if you know more than 5 people, you know someone with mental illness, and it fucking sucks. It's really, really hard, and it fucks up your whole life. So come on over and hang out with us because we need it. we need to laugh instead of crying. So come with your best memes, please. FPV Therapy, and there's a space. Somebody else made a group that's one big word, FPV Therapy, and there's like 8 members or something. You'll see. FPV Space Therapy, there's 100 plus. Great question, Rick. Thanks for asking that question. Rob Axon says, you broke something? Say it isn't so. Hey, did you guys see... I didn't break anything. I don't break things. What, are you kidding me? Who saw the... I don't know what just happened there. Who saw the mishap on Instagram? Anybody? 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 I'm not caught up in the chat, so I don't know if you guys saw it or not. This is how my fucking day's going, guys. Look at that! Look at it! This took me an hour to clean. An hour! Yeah. Yeah. An hour. An hour. By the way, if you didn't already know, rubbing alcohol is your friend for that sort of a cleaning session. Microfiber cloth, rubbing alcohol, toothbrush. Take shit apart, toothbrush it all out, away you go. And the alcohol will, the rubbing alcohol will evaporate. And it won't kill your electronics. Rob Axelson just put your head down. Slappy1 practiced tagging me and it worked. Rob Axelson said orange bitch. Slappy1 said JB got blunted. And I am caught up. Rob Axelson said Carol Shelby changed his setup and motor but takes a seat of your pants driver to tell you what's up with your ride. Very true. Is that a quote, Rob? That strikes me as a sort of a quote. Is that poop 661? No, just mud. Stock Racing Club says, did you land in shit? It's been raining for the past like 3 days straight. It's not raining right now, so I went out and that's the little local YMCA right around the corner. Really cool little spot. I can't wait to go back there. I got some really good Insta360 Go footage that I was going to spend from 9 o'clock until 10 o'clock editing for you guys, but Blunty broke Joshua's stream. He didn't. Guess what? Shamelessly stolen from Mighty Car Mods. If you like cars at all, on YouTube, here on YouTube, search for Mighty Car Mods, and you will have found the best car modification channel on YouTube. I actually like Speed Academy better, but shh, don't tell Marty and Moog that. Ah! Great. Now there's a huge mess. Oh, hey guys, look at this. Tomorrow, this box is getting opened as another installment number 2 of your boys' FPV crate unboxing. This is these are the TBS boxes. This is the sub 250 and the full size box. So yeah, I'll do this tomorrow. We'll do a little 10-15 minute stream unboxing this for the FPV crate guys, because we are working together, and yeah, they make some. Their box is the best. I said it. It's true. I'm allowed to say it because it's true. All right, so what do we got? Oh yeah, I got some of these HQ 3x1.8s because I want to back-to-back them with the GemFan 3016 tri-blades. Why did I buy these? 40 millimeter. Oh right, 1.5 millimeter shaft. 40 millimeter GemFan props. Speaking of GemFan, I still haven't signed anything, but the sponsorship thing just kind of keeps moving forward. I'm going to be doing some stuff with them, and it's going to be awesome. GemFan props have always been my favorite. They've always been the best balanced propellers, and on micros, that's a big deal. Micro propellers are much harder to balance. So the company with the best balanced micro propellers, you're going to get a good amount of extra performance because of that. So it's a big deal. Look at this. They sent a KN95 mask. I haven't seen one of these. Well, I mean, I've seen other people wearing them, but I haven't tried one of these. Trick or Treat Safely, compliments of ZOHD. Whoever ZOHD is, they're pretty rad. That is a super dope thing to do. Good stuff. Way to go, Get FPV. Be on the right side. Be science, Get FPV. Be science. Thanks for being... this that I plugged in a minute ago is the... this is the Beta FPV AIO that'll take... Is it just 3 and 4S? No, it's 2S to... Oh, I thought this was just 3 and 4S, but this goes down to 2S, and that's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that's great. That's really good news because, so this guy here. ZOHD does FPV wings, Cowboy Laser Kit, and Jet Shark says. I don't know how I get that name right every time. This guy here, which again, this is if you haven't been to the last couple streams, I'm building a whole bunch of tiny whoops to carry the Insta360 Go. I have some pretty cool opportunities coming up with T-Pain and his new business office, his garage, his gaming area, and then his drift team that's run by GMG Performance and their shop. I have some pretty cool opportunities to fly. Yeah. Oh, and of course T-Pain Studio and whatnot. Because of the fact that it'll be around talent, I don't necessarily feel comfortable railing a big old like 95 on 2.5 inch props like right in front of somebody's face. So I'm trying to do it as small and safe as possible. Also because that hasn't really been done much. Like for me, when I see somebody shoot a gap that's like this big, my fucking head just explodes. And a gap that's this big, you're not going to get through with this. Like, technically it'll fit through there, but you're not going to make it. You're going to touch the side. The difference, yeah, I mean, like, right? Like, it's a real difference, and this is the, this is the, not even the smallest. I'm really hoping that this guy, I mean, look at the size difference here, right? Come on. Which would you rather get stuck in your hair? So yeah, I'm trying to move this Insta360 go around as small as possible. This is the Redshifter's V2 75. Andre Smith says R3D shifter. It's so, yeah, their name is R3D, but they informed me that it's supposed to spell red. So Red Shifters is the name of the company, not R3D shifters. Rab Axelson with it. That's what she said. So yeah, this guy is what I'm really banking on. I've done a bunch of building, flying, experimenting with the 65 size, and the Insta360 Go is an 18-gram payload. This is just not quite enough. With the 0802 25,000 kV Happy Model motors, which I have on both of these in the cockroach frames, it will carry this, and it does a surprisingly decent job. But the runtime kind of is the biggest problem. I only get a little shy of a minute per battery. So you're just constantly coming back to change batteries. God forbid you crash in the middle of your run, you might just have to sacrifice that whole battery and just come back and put a fresh one in, depending on how long the line is that you're trying to complete. So this is one step up, right? From a 65 to a 75. The problem, I've got this, I tried to do this on 1S, again, just to kind of keep the weight as low as possible. So I got these Happy Model 1102 19,000 kV motors, and they don't really seem to be quite enough. They just don't seem to have quite enough power. I'm kind of surprised by that. There are some other 75 frames coming. This frame is a little flexible, and I have to turn the filters down in Betaflight. I have to turn the amount of filtering up by turning the sliders down. Well, I guess down would be that for you. So yeah, I'm not totally giving up on 1S here yet, but I'm flying 450 mAh 1S batteries. So at that point, I could fly 2 of the Newbie Drone 250s, and it wouldn't be that much heavier, right? The reason I was sticking 1S on this is to try to keep the weight down. But 2 of those Newbie Drone 250s aren't much heavier, and going up to 2S is going to open up a much bigger motor selection, and it's just going to be even more efficient. So I have a feeling that this is going to end up going 2S. The Newbie Drone boards will do it. They'll do 2S, but you get ESC overheating warnings, and that's just kind of scary. So what I think I'll end up doing is getting another one of these. I got this. I totally forgot to mention this. I got 2 of these actually for the Beta 95 and the Beta 85. So those builds will be happening. Well, the 85 build is going to happen this Wednesday on Whoop Wednesday. Not sure of a time yet. But I think there'll be a third one of these that goes into this guy. And that'll be kind of nice too, because then I'll have a 75, an 85, and a 95 that are all on the same board. Joshua on his stream yesterday, maybe it was last week, said that he talked to someone in the industry who deals with a lot of returns, and they told him that as of late, Beta FPV quality control has been much better than JHE-MCU. And up until this point, JHE-MCU was the one that it kind of seemed like that was the only semi-reliable AIO. So yeah, this is pretty cool. This does not have a built-in receiver or VTX, but on this frame, if I stick with this frame, it looks like I can sneak a receiver under here in between the board and where the battery goes, and then I can just sneak the VTX up on top here and just zip it down to the top plate. It'll be a little bit heavier that way, but in theory it'll be safer, and at that point I can run Crossfire, which is kind of nice, and or a regular old RXSR with nice long antennas, so I'll get, you know, full range, which will be great. So yeah, I'll let you know how this goes. This also has plugs and much bigger, easier to get to solder pads. So I am excited about this here flight controller. I didn't know that this existed. I never went and looked for it. So yeah, one and well, just one. Oh no, there's two. I thought I was screwed there. Wait, no, don't put it back in the box, you dummy. Okay. Next is a Lumineer battery. Oh yeah. So I bought as many. What? Why? What? Is this battery meant to be mounted on the ground and then you fly? What? Why? That's like 18 feet long. It's like a pound of cable. What? Oh my god. That's so much cable. This is a Lumineer. Why did I buy a 3-cell? I know why I bought a 3-cell. Right. I know why I bought this. Check this out. This is going to be a giveaway or a something. This is going to be a something, guys. Look at this. This is pretty cool. So I've had this. It's a goggle pack to put in your pocket, Abraham says, right? I have had this Beta FPV for whatever reason. I was, from the moment that I saw it, I was intrigued by this canopy from Beta FPV. It's their Beta 85 Caddx Tarsier canopy that you also put their VTX in. So it's like a whole communications package in one big glorious blue bastard. Yeah, I'm gonna finally build something with it, but then I'm probably gonna so like everything else that I'm building right now is no prop. Everything I'm building is no prop in view. So like there's a lot of push. You know, this is a pusher frame, right? See, the mounts are up on top. See how everything's going on top. The pusher setup gets the ducts out of view a little bit better. This is not going to do that, so there'll probably be duct in view of this, but I've got these 1202 7500 kV motors, and this Beta, so the way that this canopy mounts is kind of unique, and there's only 2 Beta FPV frames that have the correct holes to mount that canopy. So you're kind of stuck with this or this one other frame, and there's only a couple batteries that fit. You know, with Whoop frames, they've got a plastic area that's kind of cut out. so you got to run batteries that are a certain shape. So that's, hopefully I can get this Lumineer 300 to fit, but I also have 2 of these Betaflight. These will definitely fit. I think you have to cut 2 of the little supports out. Yeah, you got to cut this little support here out. They show you how to do it on their website. But yeah, these little 3S300s will sit right in there like little shitbirds. And yeah, this will be a cool little build. I'm very excited for this. And then one of you guys will get to fly it. Whee! Maybe, if I don't like it. It's not even if I don't like it anymore. There's been plenty of builds that I've absolutely loved flying that I've let move on. It's more like, is there a use, really? That's yeah, like, kind of everything at this point is like, is there a really good use for that? No, get it out of here. Or like, are you using that to shoot X or Y or Z? No, get it out of here. Which is good. That's a good thing. Oh, what? Oh wait, no. I thought there was a third one for some reason. I'm a dumb person. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we got those. That goes with that little fella there. And then we've got a couple frames, which are, the 2 of them are very boring. These are 85X frames. This is the build that's going down on Wednesday, excuse me. That is right here. It's going to be getting RC and Power 1204 5000s, which, wait, no, that's an 8000. Oh yeah, right, it's 1.8. I'm going to start buying 8000s, but I have 3 5000s already. Yeah, cool. That goes there. And look at this. This is a 75X glow-in-the-dark frame. Let's see if it glows in the dark. It just looks like a white frame. Did they send me a white frame? Not a glow-in-the-dark frame? No, it's a glow-in-the-dark frame. Look at that. Yeah! I think they just painted it. Look at that. What you know about that? That's pretty cool. I think this is a GetFPV only. I think you can only really get this on GetFPV. So if you're a nerd like me, if you're going to get this on GetFPV, you might as well go to CiottiFPV.com, and there just happens to be an affiliate link in there. All you got to do is click that link and then just do your order. And I'll make a small percentage and be able to eat. Because look how skinny I am, man. Come on. I need your help. Brutal. Brutal guilt trip. Hey, GemFan D63? Or is it 53? D63. What a fucking great propeller. This is a 2.5-inch propeller that I just flew a whole bunch of batteries on with this little CB3 that you guys saw me finish up last week, with these Transtech 2.5-inch ducts. And my God, like, really quiet, durable, just great, like just really, really good. This rig that you just saw all covered in mud, it's legit, man. It's this is a little weapon. This is a very, very, very simple build. This is just CB 2.5-inch frame, 20 by 20 stack, RXSR, RXSR. Oh, here. I did this build off stream because it was such a simple build. So tons of room, right? 20mm standoffs, lots and lots and lots of room in there. Let me see if I can show you the ass end setup. How the hell can I? Oh, that's how I'm gonna show you. That's where you can really see it. See the little ass end set up in there? The RXSR is sitting down flat behind the 20x20 stack, and then the VTX is standing up in between the rear standoffs with a big piece of shrink wrap to just make a little pocket around the rear standoffs to just kind of hold the VTX in there, and then all the antenna gubbins up in there. Yeah, super simple little build. $8 per RCX 1304 5000s, running on 4S. I haven't run it in this configuration yet. I've only run it on the ducts, or on the prop guards. And the first couple batteries, I did this with 2-inch props on the GEP RC 2-inch prop guards, and then I moved over to these Transtech 2.5-inch guards with these D63 propellers, and yeah, the 2.5-inch setup is definitely where it's at, which is good because these 1304s, 1304, 1404, that's a 2.5-inch motor. To run those motors on a 3-inch prop, in my opinion, it needs to be a bi-blade. The tri-blade 3-inch props are too heavy for a 1304 or 1404. So yeah, this kind of turned out perfect in a weird way. I kind of wish I had put a RunCam hybrid in here, and I might pull this apart down the road and just drop a RunCam hybrid in here so that without the Insta360 Go, I can still get HD, and it also, when the HD is built in like that with the RunCam hybrid, you can treat this thing like a 5-inch rig and just bash the living shit out of it. When it's got the Insta360 Go, you know, like perilously like put through here. When the Insta360 Go is fucking flopping in the wind, like just trying to, I really don't think it'll come out of here, but still, it's still horrifying to have a $200 camera. I mean, as if we don't do it with GoPro Sessions, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Having the RunCam hybrid on board would have been great, but it's a weight. There's a weight penalty involved in that. It's roughly 10. I think this is a 3-gram camera here, so that'll be like a 10 or 11-gram penalty, which is a lot. That's that you got to really be careful with when you start adding weight to micros. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, right now it's just the most beautiful little simple setup, and the flight performance is, it rules. You know what's funny? Without the Insta360 Go, this is exactly what I was flying here. Anybody who's ever been to my YouTube channel has probably seen this because I have it as the main thing. But what? Why did that happen? Oh, that's different. This is it's because I'm a returning. YouTube shows a different home video if you're logged in versus if you're logged out. Here, let's do this. I bet you this will show it. Nope. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that it did that. If you're live, it replaces your channel's I don't know what the hell it's called, like highlighted video, I think, maybe. That's pretty cool. The quad camp. This is pretty much identical to what I was flying at quad camp all those years back with all those shenanigans. Down to the motors. Same motors. Actually, it might this I think is literally the same set of RCX 1304 5000s that I was flying almost 3 years ago at Quad Camp Atlanta at Grayson Hobby. These RCX motors are. There's a couple people that know. There's a couple people in this hobby who've been in the micros for a long time. Andy Baumgartner is one of them, that know the magic of these RCX motors. They are just They're not flashy. They're not shiny. They don't look good. But who gives a shit about any of that? They are durable as hell, and they perform really, really well. And they're ultra smooth. Yeah. So weird that this combo is still as good as it is. Well, it's not even that. It's just that we haven't gotten much better. No, that's not true. That setup was ahead of its time. There we go. That's what's. All right, let's go back and chat a little bit. Get scrolled up here for a second, see what you guys are talking about. Wow, I didn't think I got that far behind, but I guess it has been an hour. All right, here we go. Rob Oxen says, "You're losing people. You're speaking Greek." Ha! You mistyped speaking. I might not be able to talk, but you can't spell. Ha! Abraham says, "Whatever you do, don't start talking about shark bite or DJI will crash your stream as well. Always never forget JP." Dauntless H says, "I can't find that intro thing in Mighty Car Mods at all." Yeah, it's not their intro. It's for when they do Mailbag. And that's right. It's on their second channel on a show called Unicorn Circuit, which is their version of like a live stream. Basically, they sit there for like a half an hour and just bullshit, and they open viewer mail and they play the Mailbag song. Rob Axelson bought a quad and it won't fly. Any ideas? Try turn it off and on. That should help. Oh, cool. UAV Tech dropped its Blunties link. Thank you for that, sir. Dauntless H says Joshua deleted the stream. I don't blame him. Also asking what happened to Joshua's stream. License to Drive was given 4 crash damaged Crossfire Nanos. Fixed 2 by component swapping, but one draws 80 milliamps and runs warm. The other draws 170 milliamps and is hot. Think that's okay? They bind fine. I wouldn't think that the hot one is okay, but the warm one's probably. I've never noticed. I've never touched a Crossfire Nano to see if it gets hot or not. So, yeah, I don't know. License. That's a good question. Let us know how if they survive and how long they survive. Bill Grimes flew 6S for the first time and could not stop shaking. Did you fly like high KV? Was it because you were flying high KV on 6S? When the first time I flew 6S, it was like 4S because I was flying 6S 1600 KV and I was used to 4S 2400 KV, and the total RPM is the same there. So for me, it was just like, oh cool, no sag ever and 5-minute run times. But I wasn't, there was no like extra adrenaline rush. I have a feeling that Bill Grimes flew a rig that was way more powerful, which you can very easily do on 6S. Yeah, so big power rigs are fun. Stock Racing Club says you look suspect. Dauntless says Rip Squeak clean now. The CB3 is. This is the one that was disgusting 2 hours ago. Look at it now. It's back to black, the way it should be. Rob Oxygen says, you are whiter. Oh, right. Got it. I thought you were just calling me a cracker. Carbon Cage says, can only be here for half the stream today as I have a poxy dentist appointment. Not happy. That sucks, dude. I'll see you on the replay tomorrow, though. Maybe. Or the next day, whenever you get a chance, if you decide to watch it. 6S1FPV says, hover the question mark in Betaflight and explains a lot of things like the RPM filter settings. Excellent point by 661 there. There are tooltips, I believe is the actual name for them. There are tooltips all over in Betaflight. Always, guys, always. Even if you know what iTerm Relax does, do yourself a favor, hover over it, and just read it. Just force yourself to reread those tooltips in Betaflight because they're really well written, and like the 8th or 9th time that I read some of them, I'll go, like just some part of it will kind of click with something else in my brain, and I'll go, oh, da, 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 da. So yeah, always, 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 when you're in Betaflight, hover over those little yellow question mark bastards, and just read it. It's never more than like 3 sentences. Read through it. If it makes no sense at all, it's really good that you read it, because maybe the next time you read it, it'll make that much more sense, and then the next time you read it, it'll make that much more sense, and then it'll make this much more sense total, which is a lot. Daniel Rodriguez says, I've seen many, but that was the first live stream I've ever attended. This is the second. Wow. Daniel, I promise that not all live streams are a hot mess. Some of them are, but not all of them. And usually I'm not this white. Usually I'm less sickly looking. Hold on. There has to be a way. There has to be a way. Every time I look over, I'm like, ugh, look at that fucking guy. He looks sick. Where is the goddamn... Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh. That should be it. Oh, God. Oh. Hey! That's so much better. What can I say? I'm a color guy. I'm a color kind of guy. Why is there so much ceiling fan, though? That's better. Ah! Not always a shit show. Rob Axelson says, okay, how much coffee did I have? What? What were we talking about, Rob? Drone Pilot says, I use 3 sets of rates on a switch, make 3 very different sets and find out which works for you, which works for the new build, then play around with that. That's a really good idea, Drone Pilot. Especially when you're new, figuring out what, your magical rate profile is, that's a really, really good idea. And even if you know what your preferred rate profile is, every so often it's really good to just like change it up, change your rates up and fly it. And you might hate it, and that's fine. But you might hate it, but there's like this little thing that happens that you're like, oh, that was kind of cool. So yeah, every once in a while, just change your rates up and see what it's like. Don't just stick the same rates forever. And yeah, when you're new, like if you're not absolutely dead set, like you'll get to a point where you will have a rate profile, like, and you will know it offhand because it will be the only rate profile that you can fly. like eventually after you've got hundreds and then thousands, and then I don't know if any of us are there yet, but at some point tens of thousands of flight hours, yeah, there'll be like a rate profile that it's really important for you to run. I run the same rate profile on everything other than the tiny whoops, believe it or not, but only the tiny whoops that I'm going to fly around in here. And it's only because this is such a small apartment and our hallway is so narrow that I just have to have... Well, you know what? That's not true. On actual rates, I fly the same rates on everything, even the tiny whoops. But on Betaflight rates, on pre 4.2, I lower my RC rate for a little bit more center sensitivity on the tiny whoops that I plan on flying here. But everything else is the same, and once I get 4.2 onto all the tiny whoops, they'll be on actual rates, and all my rates will literally be the same. But yeah, up until that point where you know for certain how the rate curves work, how the rate profile works, exactly what you want your rates to be, play around with rates. Play around with rates way more than you play around with PID tuning. Your rates will have 10,000 times the effect on your flying than a good PID tune. a good PID tune is very overrated, if I'm completely honest with you guys. A good pilot can fly with the worst PID tune in the world, and you would never know it. Roscoe6 says, wow, that's high D. It's high D max, but it's not high D min. Pre D min, when there was just one D gain value, you had to be fairly conservative with that. But now that we have D max and D min, you can go nuts on the D max because it only moves up to the D max for a very short period of time. So you can go pretty crazy on the D max, and then you just like creep your D min up little by little by little. So when that rate profile that I was showing you guys, the D min was actually much lower than if we turned that off and we just used the regular D gains. So believe it or not, what I showed you, cranking those D gains up, was much, much, much safer than if we were in Betaflight 4.0 or any other 3.5.7, Flight 1, Falco, what's the other one? Flyduino. Yeah, Betaflight's D gains are infinitely safer than all of those other guys because of D-min and D-max. And yeah, I try my best to really take advantage of that. Like, that's a huge improvement in Betaflight over everything else. That's one of the many things that Betaflight does that nobody else is doing, which, in my opinion, make Betaflight the incredibly obvious choice in which flight firmware to run. But that's just me. I'm just one guy. If you want to fly like me, maybe listen. If you don't, fuck me. Don't actually, but that's what she said. Rob Axelson says, you got to look at what the devs have done. Each update changes what you had prior. Very, very true. Since 4.0, Betaflight has been doing a wonderful page on their GitHub for tuning notes. And every single time a new firmware comes out, I know you don't want to, but take a half an hour, go in there. A lot of it won't make sense. Some of it will. And the stuff that doesn't make sense, you'll store away in the back of your brain in the confused section, and then in 6 months something will happen and it'll be there and you'll go, oh! And it'll make sense. Nuno Ferrer... Is there another R in there? Ferreria. No. Ferreira. I think I got it. Nuno Ferreira. Hey out there, I am searching some serious tunes, PIDs, filter settings to get rid of the jiggle or wobble of the Beta 95X V2. I couldn't find any tune to reduce the jiggle by now. Nuno, you're in luck. I was just Grayson Hobby just had me out a week and a half ago to be their pro pilot for the Beta 95X V2 that they had there. And yeah, the tune that it comes with is horrible. I don't know what they're thinking. The only thing that makes any sense is that for some reason they're sending it with the safest tune in the land, so that if you go out and bang up the propellers, you won't cook the motors on a rig that's ducted. I don't know. Yeah, that PID tune that they sent is horrible. I added 20 points of P gain to the pitch and the roll and the yaw axis, I believe. Yeah, I think I added 20 points of P gain to all three axes, and I added 10 points of D max and 5 points of D min, and it became much more flyable, but it still wasn't. It was still not in a great place, and then we ran out of light, and that was kind of that. The guys at Grayson did mention that maybe doing a part 2 of that video where we dive into the PIDs. I'm just waiting for the Facebook message for the invite to come out and do that. So hopefully they're interested in doing that, because I would love to do that. I would love to go out there, or I'm building one. So at some point here, I'll build one. I mean, the half an hour ago here on the stream, I showed you guys what my initial tune is. I'll do exactly that. You know, I took you guys through my filtering, my rates, my PIDs a little bit ago here on tonight's stream. That's exactly what I'll do to this 95X before the Maiden. I will do all that same stuff, and I'll go put it out on the Maiden, and I bet you it flies really good. Yeah, I think going to like the completely stock PIDs, the tune that 95X V2 comes with is like dumped down from the factory Betaflight PIDs, I think. So even just putting it onto stock PIDs would really help it quite a bit. Don't be afraid of the PIDs either, guys. Two big things, right? You can change your PIDs in the OSD, so do it. Like every once in a while, land, go into the OSD, go to your PIDs, go to roll P gain, and jack roll P gain up by like 20 points. Save, arm it, see what happens. Like, be ready to disarm it, because it might go bananas, or it might fly better than it's ever flown before. What I'm hoping is going to happen is it's not going to fly away. You're going to take off. You're going to fly it for 3 seconds, and you're going to go, oh, that's what P gain does on the roll axis, right? And then if it flies like shit, land it, set it back the way it was, and move on with your life. But do that. That's how I learned how to PID tune. I literally just, I would fly off from my our apartment in Charleston. I would fly off the front deck. So I would go out on the front deck, fly a battery, walk inside, plug it into Betaflight, because this is back before OSD. Make a change, make a drastic change, right? That's the key. The bumping your P gain up by 5 points, I can't feel that. I know that it's doing something, but I can't feel it. So I would, eventually I was like, well, what if I do 10 points? So can I kind of feel that? And I was like, well, fuck this. I'll go 20 points. And then I went, oh my God, okay, that's what that does. Do it one thing at a time, though. Like, change the roll P. Don't change the pitch P, because when you're flying, you'll... Get me? You guys get me. I trust you. Rob Axelson says, your quad isn't like your car. The devs changed 99% of your car. You're only the driver. Very true. Rick Zapata says, thank you so much. You're welcome. I have no idea what for. Drone Pilot says, every single tune on every single quad I have is different. I have a certain flying style and adjust to get it where I want. I have several 7-inch quads and each is different. Yeah, big 7-inch rigs are always going to be a bit of a challenge. In terms of like getting a tune right on the first shot, 5-inch rigs, sometimes it'll happen. But usually there's going to be at least a little bit of tweaking here and there. Because, one rig will have more weight on the pitch axis than another. And if there's more weight spread out along the pitch axis, that means that you need more power, more P gain on the pitch axis to handle that extra weight. The extra weight becomes momentum, right? As soon as you tell a quad to start spinning, it's got a bunch of momentum stored up, and it has to stop that momentum. It also has to start the momentum too, right? So 661 says, have you flown Emu Flight on a 1S Whoop? It's worth a try. I have not, 661. Emu Flight is Betaflight with some shiny stuff, and it's it's just sort of over filtered. Yeah, I think it is over filtered. It uses different filtering. but it's just filtering more. You can accomplish the same thing in Betaflight by just lowering the filter sliders. Well, for you guys, it would be like this: lowering the filter sliders. That's going to basically get you to where EmuFlight is, or that'll also get you to where 3.5.7 is. Right? All these people that say 3.5.7 is better are wrong. It's over filtered. It's not over filtered. It's more filtered. Over filtered is an opinion, right? So yeah, and I try to reduce. I try not to try things. I have to try not to try things because I always want to try all these new things. But there's a limit of time, and now that I'm trying to do this full time and actually, eat, I have to be very careful of what I do put my time into and what I don't put my time into. So yeah, I'm just not. I have no interest whatsoever in EmuFlight. Sorry, guys. If enough of you really want me to see it, I guess. And it's a situation where like it'll be worth it for me to try it out, right? If there's a way for me to eat from doing that, I guess I'll do it. But I really don't want to. I've had really bad experience in the past with forks of Betaflight. Betaflight is designed by a whole big team of developers that have been doing it forever. There's they have a flow, they have a set of checks and balances, I'm sure. And then so then first it was Butterflight and now it's EmuFlight. They just take that wherever it is, 4.2.1. Hopefully that's in a good place. They take it and then they put some bells and whistles on it. If there was a problem with it, that problem is still going to exist, and the fact that you've then just got like one person adding to it can cause some kind of dangerous shit to happen. I mean, with a 1S whoop, you're not going to get hurt. But even on like a 3-inch rig, like Butterflight put me in the fucking hospital. If it had hit like a millimeter this way, it would have hit a tendon, and I might not be able to bend this finger. Wouldn't be a very good pilot if I didn't have a right index finger, right? And it was because Butterflight grabbed a version of Betaflight an older version of Betaflight that had an issue, and when that got fixed, when Betaflight quickly fixed that, Butterflight didn't grab that new version. They just stuck with the version that they had. It like whatever it was, 3.5.1 or 3.5.0 or whatever. And yeah, for one specific target, the board orientation didn't work. And when your board orientation is wrong and you arm a quad, it goes, wow, what the fuck? What is happening? Up is down, left is right, front is back, and it goes crazy. And that happened to me fucking 2 times. When it happened the first time, I thought that I knew what was going on, and I was wrong. And then it ended up happening again. So yeah, I've had a really shitty history. Plus, Butterflight didn't fly good. If I'm totally honest, it flew worse than Betaflight. It was over filtered. So yeah, I don't. You guys are gonna have to work really hard to get me to do the EmuFlight thing, because I just don't believe in it. I don't believe in forks of Betaflight. Yeah, Betaflight is it does absolutely everything that I want it to. So, Stock Racing Club says, "Did you land in shit?" Tyler Harris says, "What's your favorite whoop prop for racing and freestyle?" Tyler, according to Sebastian Ruth, SR13 FPV, if you don't know SR13 FPV, get your ass over to his channel. He's the best freestyle whoop pilot in the world. He likes the Gemfan 4-blade, and I do too. They the biggest problem with tiny whoops, in my opinion, is a lack of power, and the Gemfan 4-blade is the most prop that we've got. It's like the most pitch, it's the most blade surface, it's beautifully balanced. They're great, and yeah, I run them on everything. Every single whoop that I've got is on Gemfan quad blades. I forgot to mention the goddamn giveaways because I am a bad person. Giveaways are going to happen in 2 minutes. So, here's how it works. We're going to do 4 giveaways. We do this every other week. At some point, we're going to go back to every week. 4 giveaways. 3 of the giveaways are run through Patreon. Basically, over on the Patreon channel, for $5 a month, you're going to get entered into the Tiny Whoop and the Toothpick giveaways. For $10 a month, you're going to get entered into the 3-inch micro brushless giveaways. For $20 a month, 5-inch giveaways. This makes it a million times easier for me to organize and to get in touch with you guys if and when you win. It also allows you guys to only pay for the tier that you want to be in, and to also only get parts that you can use. If you have tiny whoops, you have toothpicks, you have 3-inch micro brushless rigs, and you have 5-inch rigs, and you really want to support me, there's a $30 a month tier that puts you into all of those giveaways. So you get entered into all 3 of them every time we do the giveaways. So yeah, if you want to go join the Patreon right now to get in on tonight's giveaways, you got to tag. I got to get caught up in the chat, which is going to be impossible. But you got to tag me and let me know which tier you're getting in. So if you want to go do that, go do it right now because my giveaway alarm is going off. So I'll give you guys like 5 minutes to if you want to get in on the Patreon giveaways, to go over there and get in. While you're doing that, I'm gonna just absolutely blast through this stream. I'm gonna miss not stream chat. I'm gonna miss chat comments. If I missed your chat comment, ask it again. Rob Axon says, nope, all me. Stock Racing Club, hey, Insta360 Go, worth it. Absolutely. But make sure you get the physical damage protection from either Best Buy or Ashurion on Amazon. Do Best Buy. The Best Buy is a lot less of a hassle. Dauntless H, I can't find that at all on their channel. Drone Pilot flew the 7-inch quite some distance recently. When I was at the first point, it started raining. Oh god! I was thinking, oh no, but I had sprayed Conformal at work right, and I got home. That's a fucking nightmare. Stock Racing Club, congrats on the sponsor. Thanks, brother. Dolls says, cause knowledge is power. Indeed. Cowboy Laser Kitten Jet Shark says, ZOHD does FPV wings. Roscoe Sticks, congratulations. That's awesome. Well deserved. Thank you, brother. Rob Axelson, that's what she said. Rob Axelson, any antenna info, don't mean to change direction. Tell me more. What's the question, Rob? You need to get with Kebab. My Toothpick 1S will carry my Insta, no problem. Props in view, Rob. And I've been really good friends with Kebab for a couple years now. We talk every week. Raw Pix FPV, on a scale from 1 to 10, how hard would you say it is to fit a flight controller ESC stack under a 15mm standoff height? Asking because I'd like to build an FPV cycle flow ride with Vista, but don't trust the AIOs. What you've described there is all of my glide builds. All 3 of my glide builds are on 15mm standoffs. You need to do a 20x20 flight controller up front, like the Talon F7 is my favorite. My favorite ESC is the Acon AK32. And then you've got plenty of room in the back there for Tramp is my preferred VTX, and Crossfire Nano up on top. Soon to be Ghost. Not really soon, but whenever they come in stock and I order that and I order it. Raw picks, lots of info on past streams about those glide builds. I've been doing that to my glides for a couple months now. So yeah, any streams with glide in the title, you'll get to see it on the inside. Rob Axelson says, my Tiny Hawk Freestyle 2S handles my Insta360 no problem, with lots of props in view, I'm sure. Aber the Ham, I was just about to drop a Newbie Drone BBBL V2 board into a 75 frame. That's exactly what I have in here. With Tiny Whoop onesie onesie 0803 12,000s. Okay, I thought you were going to say you got the 0802 25,000s. I was going to curse you because I'm still upset that I missed out. They sold out before I could get a set. Do you think the ESCs will overheat or give me issues? Also, fuck these Newbie Drone motor plugs. Ooh, yeah. Best of luck. I would love for that to work. I don't know if it will. Every time I've run the Newbie Drone stuff on 2S, it gives me the core temperature warnings on the ESC, which freak me out, but it's been... the one of them blew up. If you were on 0802 motors, I would say you'll be fine. What I'm worried about is the 0803 motors. I would say do it and put it on 4.2 and scale that throttle down. Scale your throttle down to like 75% and see how it flies. I can't possibly imagine that at 75% it would cook that ESC. So yeah, get it on 4.2. Limit that motor output in the PID tab. Not a throttle cap. You don't want to limit the throttle. You want to limit the motor output. It's in the PID tab. It's not in the rates tab. It's in the PID tab. And then creep it up from there, and let us know, because yeah, I want to know. Rob Axelson says, "Look, shiny stuff. Fuck the E30. Fuck the E36 says, what motors would you suggest for a 77mm 4S whoop? Jesus." I have literally no idea. I think the better question is, why 4S on a whoop? What's the intended use? 4S batteries are very heavy, and whoops are really meant to be inside, and those two things don't really mix. You don't want to be heavy and inside. It's a fly-by-wire battery, Tiago Ramos says. Julian Vincent says, I built that Betaflight blue fucker and broke the frame on my first flight. Not impressed. That's why I haven't built it yet, Julian, because the way that top section connects to the frame, I'm just like, what? Who the fuck thought this would work? That's also why I'm probably gonna sell it, give it away, whatever. Hopefully to someone that doesn't crash constantly like me, because if you don't crash it hard, it'll probably be fine. I guess you could say that about just about anything. Julian Vincent also says, do you have a Tarsier for that frame? Yep, it's in there. I have one I'm not using that came out of that build. I actually have two Tarsiers. One of them is in there, and the other one is here. I don't know what to do with it. I don't want to do another build with it because I like the RunCam Hybrid a lot better. So I have a feeling this will end up in a giveaway sometime soon. Rob Axelson says, ooh. Dolls says play Sandstorm. What's Sandstorm? License to Drive says Insta360's new camera gets released tomorrow. It looks like it's an actual 360 camera though, so I'm not really interested, but it'll be neat to see what it is. Double A is here. What's up, Double A? Rob Axelson says you need linguine, an artisanal clam sauce. 661 says I made a 900 megahertz monopole whip style antenna for R9 using FR Sky 2.4 antenna and trimming it to 915, and it works great. Yep. Oh, guys, always remember you can trim antennas. If you're gonna do it, make sure that you find like 5 people that confirm the length that you're gonna trim it to is the correct length, because it's very common for people to not know what the hell they're talking about and say, yeah, trim it to 14.6 millimeters, and then it's fucked. T-Bird has arrived. What's up, brother? Nope. Where the hell was I? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm so far behind. Full speed. Here we go. UAV Tech says, correctly, he says, RCX for the win. I have a ton. Lilithium is here. What's up, Lilithium? T-Bird says, the goat is in a good mood. Dolls is backtracking. Try a cap and what? Dolls says, I'm backtracking. Try a cap and 24 kilohertz on your and that's the end of it. On your newbie drone. Backtracking. Try a cap. Putting a cap on there is actually an interesting idea. 24 kilohertz won't help anything, but putting a capacitor on there is actually a really interesting idea. I might actually do that. Because with one of the problems with an AIO is the electrical noise, because you're jamming everything into one spot. Interesting. I might actually do that, dolls. Lilithium got to shred an empty skateboard park today, and the rig is flying so good. Let's keep going. Message me on Instagram. Let's keep going with that tune. I think I gave you like my kind of sort of starting point, but let's dial that tune in a little bit better, because those motors are a little bit heavier. My crazy lightweight 29 gram Pro 4s are like infinitely easy to tune, but those Bardwell 2208s? Yeah, 2208s. They were a little bit harder to tune. So yeah, let's do a little. Let's turn some knobs, and we'll make it even better. There we go. Rob Axelson's fried. Got to be up early. He's out of here. See you later, Rob. Jeremiah Blackwell, you got your color back. Oh yeah, I fixed the camera. Rick Zapata says, got a 3-inch tiny framer coming. I already have all the electronics for it, hoping it's going to be as good as everyone says it is. I hope you like it, Rick. Brandon's Baked Beans didn't tag me. Dauntless H did right below him, though. Do you fly elbow rates? Are you against them, or do you like smooth centers? I try to set my rate as linear as possible, but that was the one thing that I really liked initially about the actual rates, is that it let me set my rates more linear than I've ever been able to in the Betaflight rate profile. But I've ended up using a bunch of Expo. The way that I set rates is I either point a camera down at my transmitter, or you can just put your stick overlay in the OSD and just DVR the OSD, and you just look at how much of the stick travel that you use. In my opinion, the best case scenario is that I use the whole stick travel constantly, because that means you're using the throw that you have available to you. It's never going to be the whole throw, because you always want the very basically, when you're into the plastic, you want that to be a little bit of a bump in rotation. But yeah, that's how I set my rates, is by I I took my the GoPro head mount thing with the 2 straps around the side and the 1 strap around the top. You just take the strap on the top off, and then if you're a skinny bastard like me, you can loosen that shit all the way up and put it around your nippies here, and just point a GoPro down at your transmitter. And I just watched the video back, and I went, oh, I'm not using much of the stick travel. Okay, I'm going to add more expo. And then I did it again. I'm like, oh, look, I'm pushing the sticks farther out. I'm using pretty much the whole stick travel. And then from there, it was just like, what feels better? And I would just make a little shift. So yeah, that's a way to set your rates. And yeah, I think it is, if you have a completely linear rate curve, it's very hard to watch because unless you're total, like, I guess if your maximum rotational rate was like 500 or 400, it might be doable, but that's hard. Like your max rate, I find that like 700 is the lowest I've been able to go ever, and that's where I'm currently at for my rotational. Any lower than that, and the problem is when you try to make a quick correction, like if you hit something and you want to try to correct, it's not fast enough. So yeah, that's like one of the problems, and that's why to fly a completely linear rate curve, it just doesn't work. So yeah, what I prefer is the dead center of the stick travel to be unbelievably soft. Like I want to be able to move that stick like this much, and the rig just go like like I just, because the center is where there's a, like the one spring loads and the other spring unloads, so there can be like this notch in your flying. So when you soften the, it's just better. Edge Ted just rebuilt the glide that I destroyed last week and found out I built it backwards. That might be why it got destroyed. Was the bottom plate upside down? If the bottom plate was upside down, then the press nuts were probably wrong, and that's probably why it blew up on you. Or maybe you just had the base plate rotated front to back, which probably wouldn't be why it blew up. Roscoe Sticks, still unfamiliar with 4.2? Well, you better get familiar with it because it's fucking great. It really is. Drone Pilot says, no beta FPV tune, burnt my motors out at 75 kilometers per hour. I have it on video on my channel when it died. Oh right, because you were long range. Wait, no. Is that what you were talking about, Drone Pilot? I think the P gain needs to be adjusted for max throttle with the 95X V2. Otherwise, the vibrations will kill the motors at full throttle. So that's what TPA is for, basically. Are you, Drone Pilot, are you saying that they're not running TPA? I didn't notice that. And I also didn't have any issues at full throttle. The issues that I had with it were just all the time. It was just a soft-ass PID tune all the time. But yeah, if they have TPA turned off, that's no good. You got to get TPA turned back on. Yeah, tell me more, Drone Pilot. You lost me a little bit. Jeremiah says, are you from South Carolina? I'm not. I'm from New Jersey. Lived in South Carolina for a few years and then moved here. Hey, UAV Tech says, how PIDs work, like the P term, never changes from version to version, same for I and D. I don't know what that means either. Julian Vincent says, I've got a 7-inch rig that I just dropped an SP Racing H7 in, and it's the best flying rig I have on stock PIDs. It's probably not that flight controller, but pretty impressive that a 7-inch rig is remotely decent on stock PIDs. You must be running big-ass motors. Yeah, big-ass motors, but more importantly, you must be running motors that are properly sized for the weight and the size of the propeller. So my guess would be that you're on like a 28 7-inch prop. I mean, it kind of depends. If it's a 7-inch bi-blade, you might be on what, like 2508s, 2507s. If you're on a 7-inch tri-blade though, you must be on 28 or like 30 big bastard motors. Speedy Turtle, what is up? Stock Racing Club, gotta go. Later, brother. Crunked is in the 4.3 gang. Scroll. Frank Nicholas is here. What's up, brother? You catching up on chat gives me time to grab another adult beverage. Obese Quad Sweet moved up to the $10 tier. Awesome. I gotta do it right now. Obese. Any of you guys who have joined Patreon in the last 18 minutes, I need you to tag me in the chat and tell me which tier you're on. Right now, I am... Oh, you know what? Yeah, I forgot to do all the things. 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock is when I do all the things, but instead, I had to cover the stutter streamer. Come on early. Why am I so mean to someone who's done so many amazing things for me? It's because he hasn't flown the damn rig that I sent him. That's why. Joshua, if you're out there, fly that rig. You're only hurting yourself. That rig is going to melt your brain. It's so much better than any rig you've ever flown before, I promise you. I'm going to put... Who am I putting on here? Obese Quads on the $10 tier. There he is. All right. Rain Dogs, Data Logs. Let someone use my junk to try FPV. Lost me in a 30-foot tree and DVR quit recording. Oh, God. Rain Dogs, there's a very important lesson there, and the lesson is just to not let... I just don't let people fly my shit. Other than like a tiny whoop, and when I do it, I'll just sit there on the arms. Like I will tell them like, hey, I'm gonna stand right next to you and just arm and disarm this. So you just... And that way, like the second that they get in trouble, I just disarm it. Or what I do is if they get more than like 5 feet in the air, I just disarm it. Like I just force them to fly 0 to 5 feet. That sucks, dude. Sorry. Life lesson, I guess. Aber the Ham with a $1.99 super chat. Thanks, brother. Thanks for the thoughtful advice. We'll follow up. Sounds good. Scroll. Ooh! Almost caught up. B-Man FPV, yo, what's up? Jeremiah Blackwell, newbie drone shipped the Savage Bee with a cap and said something about running 48K on 2S causes interference with something. I don't recall what exactly. Jesus Christ, guys. Crunk says my rates equal juice in the middle, fuck you on the ends. Yeah. Drone Pilot says I haven't investigated it totally, but 2 motors cocked. He said cooked, but I said cocked. UAV Tech says, meaning the core math of the PID loop never changes. Defaults change, features added, but that's it. Got it. Yeah, right. That's such a good... And Julian Vincent, there it is, 2806.5. Yep. Yeah, that's... It's important to, like, understand that, right? Like it's easy to think like, oh, you know, Betaflight 4.2 came out, everything is different. Like no, PIDs are PIDs. Like P gains are P gains, I gains are I gains, D gains are D gains. Like even with D min and D max, I mean that's just breaking up the D gain into it's not. Yeah, tuning is tuning. One of the great things is once you learn how to tune, you're kind of good. Like and doing what I said earlier and just every so often go into your OSD and jack D-gain on pitch up by 20 points. That is a way where you can learn how to tune. So do it. But be careful. When you do that shit, when you make that change and you save it and you arm it, like, that's a hand grenade. That's a live hand grenade. Like, just be careful. Arm it. Make sure it doesn't go nuts. real gentle. Be gentle. Be gentle. Okay, is it cool? Is it cool? Is it cool? Maybe like even if you want to, really what you should do is like hover it and then take it back down and touch the motors. Make sure the motors aren't getting burning hot. Usually you'll hear, like if there's a problem, you'll hear it. Like if you jack D-gain up by 100 points, as soon as you arm it, it'll go brrr, and it'll make a noise that's like, yeah, you're not going to take me off. Just pay attention. B-Man says, what happened to Bardwell's stream tonight? It's coming up private. He tried to... his internet took a shit. Drone Pilot had the Betaflight 95 V2 at the stock tune and stock firmware. Two motors burned out at two motors burned out at full throttle within 4 seconds. Normally, I never really fly full throttle. I will plug in controller. Oh, that's what you were saying. Okay, that's not right. That's not tune related. That's a physical problem. The tune that was on the 95X at Grayson V2, that wouldn't have been able to cook motors if you hit it with a hammer. Crack FPV says Cricket gave away Moon Goat earlier with Tommy. That's pretty dope. They're thanks to Super Deluxe, it's looking like there's a Moon Goat coming my way. I don't know if that's for me or if that's for you guys. So there's a chance that I'll be giving away a Moon Goat soon. We'll see. Manamana has arrived. We're caught up on chat. Now we can do the goddamn giveaways. I'm going to blitz through these giveaways faster than I ever have before. Do you guys believe me? You shouldn't, because it's probably not true. But I'm clicking a bunch of things. And now what I'm going to do is open up Discord, something I don't do nearly enough. But I do it sometimes. I say, like, when other people say do, I'm, like, I do that. When other people say it, I'm like, what? Don't say that. You're like an idiot. But then when there's an opportunity for me to say it, like when I'm talking and I see it coming, I always go for it, man. I love it. Because I just want to say do. Over on the Discord channel, which all of you lovely patrons have access to, over on the Discord channel, there is a text channel called The Video Collective, which you can see right here. In the Video Collective, you guys can post your edits, and then while I'm clicking buttons to get the giveaways ready, you can get like this much e-famous, because I don't really have much of an audience. But yeah, and I'll play your edits. So let's do that, because I gotta get the giveaways going. Now is when my struggle to figure out where I left off begins. I've been trying to remember to put my little emoji on the ones that I've watched, but it's not looking good. Let's do this. I'm going to go all the way recent, and I'm going to play some recent stuff. So, yeah. Post more videos in there, people, because there's only really enough time for like one or two. So the first one here is going to be Carbon Cage, a 4-year-old that I guarantee flies better than you. I don't really know that to be a fact, but he does fly pretty goddamn good. And then it looks like we're also going to have a Proton to Go video called Short and Sweet. Let's get that going here. And get a little pause action. My nose is running like a son of a bitch. And I'm going to be muting all of your guys' videos because I'm trying to not get 7,000 copyright strikes anymore. Because apparently I can make like $400 a month on my channel. and I really need that. So I think that let's grab one more. This is a pack from Squincy, fantastic local pilot named Adam, who's a really good friend of mine, and that's gonna be about it. Oh, I know that spot. I've been meaning to fly that spot. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm gonna pull this giveaway shit off on the second monitor. All right, guys, enjoy first a 4-year-old, then a Proton to go, and then a Squints. In that order. I'll be right back. Oh! Also, if you just joined Patreon tonight, tag me in the chat and tell me which tier you're on so that I can get you into the giveaways. The 4th giveaway will be Super Chat, so anybody can get in on that. But yeah, I'll be right back. I'm already back. Nothing's working. Hold on. Let me, I gotta find some copyright free. You guys ever wonder what I'm subscribed to on YouTube? Here you go. Here's all the good shit that you should be watching. Okay, this is copyright free. I subscribe to a couple of, yes, and there's another one. Good. I haven't pre-listened to these, so they might suck, but deal with it. Deal with it. Here we go. Enjoy. Be right back.
It's 11 o'clock.
Sorry, Adam, but the song ran out. And I'm just going to drop a link for you anyway. All right, so I got everybody going over here on the wheels. Here come 3 links into the chat. First one is Squincy Boy. Second one is Proton to Go. Third one is a 4-year-old that flies better than you. There you guys go. Go to all 3 of those. Subscribe to all of them. We should all be subscribed to one another because that's what friends do, man. We should all be watching each other's shit, pushing each other, encouraging each other, being jealous of each other's flying skills, and forcing each one of us to work harder to get better because it's fucking great. Jeremiah Blackwell getting in early on the giveaway. Slappy One, Jeremiah and Slappy One with $5 super chats. I guess $5 will be the amount of the super chat. Slappy One, did you just do that super chat to get in on the giveaway or just for funsies? Yeah, we'll talk more about the super chat giveaway in a minute. Let's bang out the Patreon giveaways here. I can don't quit. That's the worst thing that you could possibly do after you just spent all that time. What? Where am I? What are we doing here? Who are you guys? Where am I? Oh boy, Hot Point Hoodlum is taking a shit. What's happening? Hey, did anybody join the Patreon? I don't see my name tagged. Oh wow, you guys typed all kinds of things into the chat. Let's. Drone Pilot says if you can give me a link to those tunes so I can compare it to the stock tune, that would be great. What tunes, Drone Pilot? I don't know of any 95X V2 tunes. Metro Drones with a $10 super chat. Good show, man. Happy Monday. Thank you, Metro Drones. Very, 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 very cool of you. That's a lot of varies. Jonathan King says, and distracted already. Yep. Jeremiah Blackwell, look up Stream Beats when you're looking for copyright-free tunes. Well, I am always looking for copyright-free tunes, so I'm going to take that Stream Beats word and drop it into the Google machine. Hey, here's some stuff. Hold on. In these giveaways, a bunch of the stuff that some of you lucky bastards are about to win was donated by some super cool people. Here come links to their channels. I swear to God, if I don't see the number of subscribers that these people have on their channels go up tonight by more than 10, I'm going to beat all of you individually. I'm just going to beat you. So do the right thing. Here comes Brad McManus's channel. He is my best friend in the whole wide world. Here comes Dan Wilder's channel. He's all right. Dan's an awesome guy. I haven't known him for 20 years though, like I have Brad. And here comes Super Deluxe's channel. We're going to talk more about the 3 of those guys in a second, but go sub to all their channels. All 3 of them are making excellent content, and they're all really cool people. And it's only going to help you. When I give you guys suggestions, if you don't do them, you're just fucking yourself over. I don't care. You're missing out, man. I don't see anybody tagging my name and saying, hey, I just joined the Patreon such and such tier. So we're just gonna launch right into the goddamn giveaways because I think we're good to go. I did see a name I didn't recognize. So if you join the Patreon, Obese Squad says sub to all. Please don't hit me. Deal. I wouldn't hit you anyway, Obese Quads, because you have a YouTube name that makes me laugh more than most. Apparently we're doing this one. Let's see who wins. It's the Tiny Wolf Toothpick tier. It's Levi. Jesus Christ. Levi Schneider, here, look what you won. God damn it. Maybe I should do it like that. Should I do it backwards like that? I'm going to do it backwards like that tonight. Levi Schneider just won a Baby Tooth 2mm frame sent over by FPV Cycle. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Bob and Josh. You guys are awesome. FPV Cycle has been a friend of the show here for a long, long time, and they've been very supportive. So huge shout out to FPV Cycle for sending over this Baby Tooth 2.0 frame in one of my orders for the giveaways. So yeah, Levi, you just won this. You also won a set of Brother Hobby, a mismatched set of Brother Hobby 1103s. There are three 8,000, no, there are three 11,000 kV and one 8,000 kV. That doesn't matter. Basically, the lowest kV motor that you put on a quad, all of the motors become that same kV. So this is a set of 8,000 kV 1103 Brother Hobby motors. The reason being because they don't sell the 11,000 kV anymore. They only sell the 8,000 kV, which is kind of a shame, but whatever. So yeah, there it is. Aber the Ham didn't know that. I was about to say, I'm sure someone out there didn't know that. Yeah, here's why. The PID loop runs at either 4,000 or 8,000 whatevers per second. So that's what, when you set 4K or 8K for your PID loop frequency, that means 4,000 or 8,000, and it's per second. So 4,000 times per second, that PID loop is going, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? And so if you've got three motors that are 11,000 and one motor that's 8,000, 4,000 times a second, the PID loop is going to be going like, wait. Okay, we're cool. And it's just not gonna send the 11,000 kV motors as much power as, I guess that's how it works. Is it that it sends power? Maybe it sends signals that tell it not to. I don't know what the fuck it does, but yeah, it's magic and it works. And right now, 2 of my cinematic 5-inch rigs have a mix of 2400 and 1950 kV motors. And have you guys been able to tell? Oh, and Levi also won a Mobula 6 canopy, and thanks to Dan Wilder, because he's the man, a Runcam Racer Nano. So, like, damn near, you know, put an AIO and a receiver in, and you've got and Levi Schneider's got a toothpick going. So, congrats, Levi. Let's just blindly roll the next one, and then we'll see who won, and we'll show what they won. Ready? Here we go. It feels so reckless to do this, but, you know, fuck it. Obese Quads, I got you in here, look. Obese Quads, this is the $10 tier, and I got, Bill Grimes. I think Bill Grimes is new. So maybe it is caught up to date. Artemis Prime is here. Look, we're going to shuffle, and then we're going to spin it, and then I'm going to show you what the person won. Ready? Here we go. Ah! Oh, it's Edge Ted. I knew it. I knew it was going to make it. Edge Ted wins. Let's see what he won. Oh, no. The keystrokes are not working again. No, come on, OBS. Edge Ted, congratulations, brother. You have won a package of Grip Light sent over by Super Deluxe. Thank you, Super Deluxe. You are the man. You're getting a set of Emax 1606s. These are big boy motors that are going to make some big boy power. So hopefully Edge Ted has a heavy Cinewoop, because these are the motor for a heavy Cinewoop. Edge Ted, if you're watching, when you get these on there, hit me up, and we're going to get your filters. We might have to pull your filter sliders down a little bit, because these are notchy motors. But we're going to get you up, and we're going to get you going. Also, a bunch of extra motor bells. 3 extra motor bells in here. So yeah, and then this is every single Cinewoop prop available. the iFlight Nazgul 3-inch, the HQ, the HQ 3-inch. I guess this isn't every single. Nope. Yeah, it is. There. Nope. Who cares? The GemFan 5 blades. These are my favorites. Review, like official review of these coming up as a part of the sponsorship deal. GemFan's 75mm 3 blades, and then the new D63, D65. What the hell are they? Why can't I wrap my head around the name? D63. So yeah, all the Cinewoop props. Edge Ted, whether he likes it or not, is building a Cinewoop. the middle tier, fair warning, the middle tier is going to be a lot of Cinewoop stuff, because that's like the hotness right now, and it is really fun to fly. I stayed away from the Cinewoops when they were all like 600 plus grams. Now that the weight has finally come down, I'm super in, and I'm having an absolute blast with them. It's a whole different set of flying skills that you kind of need to have. Like, you can't cover mistakes up as easily, so you can't just like throw in a snap roll to cover up a mistake or to like make your flying interesting. Like, you have to just fly in an interesting way. You also have to find spots that are interesting. Like, you can't just take a Cinewoop to a fucking field. Like, it's horrible. You have to actually like, and it's funny because photography, which is one of my previous obsessions / hobbies, photography is location, location, location. You can be a horrible photographer, but if you're in amazing locations, I mean, look at like everybody on Instagram with 11 billion subscribers. None of those people, not none, but 0.01% of those people are actual photographers that know what the hell they're doing. The rest of those, you know, however many people, are just pointing the camera at something really interesting. And with a Cinewoop, you got to kind of do the same thing. You got to point the Cinewoop at something interesting, because you can't go like this on the transmitter sticks in order to generate interest. So yeah, you should build a Cinewoop, and no, fuck you. You, though, yeah, you. Next! I'm not going to show you what it is. We're just going to roll it, because we're doing it different tonight. Here, proof of entry. If you want to check and make sure that you're in here, I'm just going to scroll through really fast because you guys can rewind and pause. So, there you go. There's everybody. If you'd like to go back, you certainly can. That's the Toothpick and Tiny Whoop tier. Oh, fuck. I didn't write anything down. Hold on. Stand by. Who was that first winner? Chat, who was the first winner? I'm dumb. Edge Ted. I wrote down on... Oh, no. There's no space, and that will totally throw me off. Edge Ted here. Okay. Where... Alright, who won? It was Levi. What's Levi's last name? Anybody? Oh, wait, there it is. Schneider. All I had to do was... The little pointer is still on his name. Schneider, I think. Right? Yeah, close enough. Alright, 5-inch tier coming up. Here we go. Proof of life. Proof of life. Here you go. Proof of entry on the middle tier. There you guys go. Scroll, scroll, scroll. If you'd like to rewind, you can. But I just click a button in Patreon that spits out a thing. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Last one, proof of entry. Here are all the people that are on the 5-inch and the all of the above tier. Best of luck. Here we go. You don't know what you're going to win. Somebody's going to win, and they just have to sit there for like 10 seconds afterward. Please be Crunks. Please be Crunks. Please be Crunks. Please be Crunks. I love you, John Pearson, but we always have to root for Crunks because he didn't win for a long time. John Pearson, congratulations. Look what you've won, sir. Thanks to Super Deluxe. You getting a Remix V2. What do you think about that? $100 frame for that ass. Remix V2, the center of mass is all that matters. Congratulations. You're also getting a CL Racing dual V2. It has not one, but two ICM 20602 gyros and 32 megs of black box. This was sent over by Brad McManus, FPV. Everybody get your asses over to Super Deluxe and Brad and Dan's channel and give them some love. They just gave me stuff to give to you guys. So the least that you can do is click a button on their goddamn channel, right? Go do it. It's in the chat. John Pearson, congratulations. I'm writing your name down so I don't forget. HNPEARSON. Congratulations to everybody that won. Next, we're going to do a super chat giveaway that anyone and everyone can get in on. Oh, God. This giveaway, I'm not going to roll blindly because I got to try to entice you guys into giving me your money. So I'm going to start doing that now. In this last giveaway of the night, we've got a heat gun. You guys have been yelling at me for a year to get a heat gun and stop using lighters and torches. So what I've done here is I've ordered a heat gun, but I'm going to give it away because fuck a heat gun. For anyone that's confused, I would rather use this little stupid torch than the heat gun, mainly because this is this size and this is this size, and I live in a small place, so every little bit of room that I can save, I will. So one of you guys is going to win a heat gun, which you probably already have because they're like $7. FPV Geek, just a switch. You know who he is. You know you won it. If you don't win, you can get yourself a switch for your Fat Shark goggles so that you don't have to wear out your barrel plug and have that shit fail when you're mid-flight from Race Day Quads and Pyrodrone. So head on over to Race Day Quads or Pyrodrone and look for Just a Switch, or JAS, from the FPV Geek, Ron DeLeos. Super cool dude, longtime friend and sponsor of the show. Prototype. Who doesn't want some prototypes? HQ Prototype 5 by, what are they, 3.6s? Yeah, I really like these props, like, a lot. These are the props that I now fly at the drift events because they're extremely durable. So if I crash out there, there's a good chance that the blades will be straight enough to get me back up in the air so that I don't get run over, because when a car runs a quad over, it's a fucking nightmare. It destroys everything. Pair of tweezers, because I've been ordering all miscellaneous tweezers off of Amazon to see which ones I like best. So now I have like 8 pairs of random tweezers floating around. One of these 3 neck straps. 2 of them are from were sent over by Broken Prop Crew, and then this other one is, as you can see, a Rotor Riot neck lanyard strap thing. FPV Exchange micro SD card holder. Nevin, if you're in the chat, I only have 1 of these left after this, so if you want me to keep giving these away, send more. And then, I guess, in honor of that FPV crate being the TBS FPV crate, couple TBS things. This is TBS's XT60 and XT30 smoke stopper. This is one of their adorable little stubby antennas. I want to keep this so bad because look at it, but I'll never use it. So I'm hoping that whoever wins it uses it. Although I don't. Yeah. And then a couple of Tiny's LEDs, tiny little send me VBAT, and I light up nice and bright LEDs. So since a couple people already donated $5, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a $5 either Super Chat or PayPal. If you want to do, so here's how it works. If you want to do the Super Chat, totally cool. I'm totally fine with that. But YouTube will take 30+% of that. If you're not cool with that, go to CiottiFPV.com, scroll down a little bit, and there's a PayPal button. That will PayPal me directly. And then that email should come up. But if you choose to do that, in the chat, tag me and say, hey, Ciotti, I just PayPal'd you $5 or $10. If you want to go in the wheel once, it's $5. If you want to go in the wheel twice, it's $10. So ready, go. For the next like 5-ish minutes, Super Chats are opened. PayPal is opened. Get your entries in. I'll put you on the wheel. We'll spin the wheel, and somebody will win all this stuff. That's how it works. I don't know why I didn't put this camera back on, but, you know, it's better late than never. B-Man, he was first, sort of. I gotta go spelunking in the chat for the previous $5. EE-Doc sent $5 on PayPal. Thank you, EE-Doc. All right. In case anyone was wondering, I did not, so I can't really post on Patreon to remind you guys of the giveaway streams because Patreon has a computer program running. I say that so I don't have to say the word algorithm because the word algorithm is the worst. They've got something that that flags anything surrounding giveaways because they don't love you doing them. But you know, this is just a for fun little. They don't want people like, you know, what's that guy's name? Beast Master, the Beast Man, Mark and the Funky Beasts. What the fuck's his name? Captain Beast Man, Beast Man, Beast Squad. What's his fucking name? Beast, the Beast, Mr. Beast. That's it. I'm all fucking sweaty now from that. That was. Hold on. Whew. Yeah, Patreon, they don't want... Oh, God. I gotta turn the fucking fan up, yo. Woo. That was a tough one. Oh, God. There are moments where I'm like, why is my channel not growing? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully you guys know what I was trying to say there because I'm fucking lost. Here we go. Filling up the wheel with people who want to get in on the Super Chat giveaway. I've got to scroll up in the chat a little bit because Jeremiah Blackwell sent $5 before I had a chance to explain the giveaways. So let's start filling up this wheel. First, we're going to get a little bit of Jeremiah Blackwell up in here. And then Slappy1, he did a $5, or she, did a $5 Super Chat. And then I said, Slappy, did you do that because you thought you were getting in on giveaway? And then I didn't hear back. So I'm doing a quick Slappy1 then says Levi. Slappy1, it looks like you're still in the chat. Were you just sending $5 for the sake of sending $5, or were you trying to get in on the giveaway? I'm gonna assume that you were trying to get in on the giveaway, and I'm just gonna add you to the wheel. If for some reason you don't want to be on the wheel, let me know. Crunk says, "Son of a fuck, table flip." Well, here's the question, Crunk. If you had one, would you have built the Remix V2? I know you're pretty dead set on Apexes and Glides. Just out of curiosity. Okay, B-Man FPV goes on the wheel next. Thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, "Don't got PayPal? Hook it up." Jason Crabtree sends $5 and he says, "Keep up the good work, man." I will. I will. For as long as I effing can. EEDoc sent $5 on PayPal. We are going to get EEDoc up in here. There we go. Thank you, EE. And then we've got Frank Nicholas with a $10 on PayPal, because that's how Frank does it. Frank comes in here every stream and he's like, you know what? I want this dude to keep doing this shit. I like staring at this gangly son of a bitch, so I'm going to send him $10. And he did, and I thank him for it. Thank you, Frank. Scrolling down, Aber the Ham sent 10 on PayPal. We're going to get him on here twice. I don't know why I didn't just put Frank on there twice. That was a strange thing for me to do. Aber the Ham 1 and 2. Frank 1. Frank 2. There we go. Toxic FPV, he's going in twice. Thank you, Toxic. Thank you, Aber. Thank you, Frank. 1 and 2. Oh, god damn it! Thank you, Toxic. Tweet FPV grips as well. I need I need a way of remembering that. God damn it! It's there are like so many things. I think I just figured out a way of reminding myself. If I put his sticker in the bag, I'll remember. So the question is, will I remember to put his sticker in the bag? Yes! A set of Tweet FPV grips of your choice in the color of your choice. Good news! The Dacia Sendero is back! No, it's not. There is good news, though. If you've been patiently waiting, as I would hope that you have been, for the only color that matters in Tweet's FPV grips, which is the super secret, limited run, never to be seen again, often imitated, never duplicated, CiottiFPV purple and red color, sparklies. Tweet managed to get in touch with someone on the other side of the world that's able to make it again, so it's coming. He had to bust his ass to get it again. So, yeah, Tweet FPV is the man. Check him out on YouTube and on Patreon and on Etsy. Although I think his Etsy store is down because he's on vacation for the moment. But yeah, check Tweet FPV out. Dan is a great guy. And yeah, the winner of this giveaway is going to send an email to Tweet FPV and say, hey, I won Ciotti's giveaway this Monday night. I have a radio, and I would like the color. But if the color is not my purple color, then you're dead to me. Okay, YouTube. I see what you're doing there. Just zapping it all around. Metal Dirtskin PayPal $5. Thank you, Metal. I'm gonna put you on the wheel. There we go. And then we got a little bit of Dauntless H says, "What do those switches do?" What switches, Dauntless? 30 more seconds, and then we're gonna spin this wheel. Muad'Dib FPV sent $10 via PayPal. Thank you, sir. Getting you on lay wheel once and twice. Let me make sure. For some reason, I'm making mistakes not putting people on the wheel twice. Did I put Toxic on twice? Okay, good. Got Toxic on there twice. Metal, you're on there once. That's good. Muad'Dib, you are on there twice. And yes for the giveaway for Slappy One. Awesome. You are in there, right? Yeah, I got you up on top there, Slappy. It's Darts with $9.99. He says, screw it, enter me twice. Deal. It's Darts. You got yourself a deal. Thank you for the support. What's this spin for? Carbon Cage says. Oh, I picked it up upside down. You son of a bitch. Lots of stuff. It's this bag of stuff. If you rewind back 30-ish, no, not 30-ish seconds, like 30-ish minutes, not really, 5 minutes. It's a bunch of good stuff. You're gonna love my nuts. Frank Nicholas says, if I win, re-roll the grips. I don't like sticky stuff on my stuff. Right. And Toxic FPV says tweet has orange now. I mean, why have orange when you could have purple and red? Slappy One says, put me on there again, you skinny bastard. He said beast, I say bastard. 10 seconds, and we spin the wheel. Better hurry if you want on here. T-Bird FPV sent 10 through PayPal. We're going to put him on here twice. And 1, 2. Did I miss anybody? Remy Tim is on PayPal for the $5. We're going to put him on there twice. He's cooking dinner. Hopefully he doesn't poison himself. I don't know where that came from. That's true. Yeah, I assume that all men are as literally dangerous in the kitchen as I am. Like, yeah. Metro Drones. How did I forget you? Where's your thing, Metro? Or did you do Metro? Did you do PayPal? All right. I don't think I missed anybody, but you guys got like 10 seconds if I missed you. I'm waiting on Metro Drones. As soon as Metro Drones gets back to me, I'm going to spin the wheel. Super chat. All right, let me find it. Where's it at, Metro? Scrolling. There it is. All right, Metro goes on twice with the tenor. There it is. Away we go. Ready? Go! Who? Oh, the volume. It's Slappy One. Slappy One. Thank God you got in a second time because I think that's the one that won. Congratulations, brother. Slappy One, you've got work to do. You've got to either message tweet FPV on Instagram or Facebook, or you can, so his Etsy store is down, so you can't message him on Etsy, but you can email him at tweet, I'm going to type it, tweetfpv@gmail.com. Message tweet and tell him that you won and you've got a radio and you would like color, and then you got to do the same for me. Message me, CiottiFPV, on hopefully on Facebook. If possible, message me on Facebook. That makes my life a lot easier. If you're on my Patreon, that works too. Instagram also works. Or fucking smoke signals, I guess. Congrats, brother. Thanks to everybody who entered. I need to write Slappy One. Hey, Slappy One. What's if you're cool with it, tag me here in the chat and tell me what your real name is, like your Facebook name, so that if for some reason I don't hear from you, I can find you. The problem that I have is if I search Google or Facebook or anything for Slappy Space One, or like any of your guys' YouTube names, I can't find anything. So like, yeah, and I don't like that. If you guys won something, I want to be able to ship it to you. So Slappy1, if possible, tag me in the chat here and just tell me your real name, but also message me. And yeah, you got to let us know like your first and last name, your address. If you're outside of the U.S., we need like a phone number or an email address usually. So yeah, but we'll talk. Let me first write you down here. Slappy1. All right, and I'm hoping that at some point I'm gonna leave this here. Chris Croft says, does CiottiFPV have any Tango 2 grips in purple? He doesn't have any grips in purple right now that I know of, because the purple is on the way. But he will. He has grips for every radio. Like when the Tango 2 came out, he got one like right away and had the grips ready in like days. So there kind of isn't a radio that he doesn't have grips for, I don't think. Although that would be an interesting challenge. Ruby Tim says, no poison tonight. I'm cooking with a meal kit. But I did drop a knife and almost lost a toe. Ended up with just a tiny pinhole in the side of my foot. Dangerous in the kitchen for sure. Jesus. I'm usually concerned about, yeah, like poisoning people. Not, although when I was into airsoft, I used to play with tactical knives, so I don't drop knives. Metrodrone says, super chat. Don't forget me. Ruby says 5. Okay. Just real quick get caught up on this here chat. In case anything came through. All right. All right, I think we're good. If I did miss, if you tag me and I did miss it, just re-tag me. It's fine. Slappy1 says, I am a Patreon and will find you. Slappy1, do me a favor, message me on Patreon. That's a million times easier. And thank you for being a patron. You're the man. Chris Croft says, I know I got purple for my jumper. When did you get those, Chris? Because I... Oh, right. Yeah, I message him. tweetfpv@gmail.com. Shoot him an email. And, because he might have some floating around. Or, his grips are now on RDQ and Pyrodrone. Yeah. RDQ and Pyrodrone both have CiottiFPV's grips, and he does have them. There is an option in there for CiottiFPV Purple. So that's another spot for you to check. It's 11:40. Holy shit. Slappy1 is going to message me over on Patreon. That's pretty awesome. I think I'm good. I think we can move over. God damn it, I just looked over and I saw the lanyards. Oh, wait, no, I'm good. Hey, Slappy1, which lanyard do you want? You get to pick, sir. These lanyards were sent over by Broken Prop Crew. I'm going to drop their link in a second. So, Slappy1, you get to pick, man. This orange one. This green one. Or this Rotor Riot strap. Broken Prop Crew. Why do I have such a... I feel so... saying that makes my mouth just like here, check out Broken Prop Crew. I said it that time without mush mouthing. I'm usually not very mush mouth. There's Broken Prop Crew. Look at all these designs. I've been using their goggle strap and lanyards for the entire time that I've been flying, really. So we're talking like 3+ years, and they've held up unbelievably well. I can't say enough about Broken Prop Crew's stuff. It's just so cool, and like there's so many cool designs. So check them out for sure. They sent over a box with like $200+ in lanyards and head straps for you guys. So that's, you know, show your love, sub to them on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all the good stuff. Maybe even you know, if you want them to maybe send more, I'll bet you if a whole bunch of you call them out and are like, yo, Ciotti was repping you guys, love your shit. If like a whole bunch of you guys do that, I bet you they'll be like, damn, we got to send that guy more stuff for his giveaways. That shit's working. Do whatever you want, though. Let's work on some shit. But first, Aber the Ham says, gotta go and get this IGOW. Oh, are you still in, Aber? Dude, nice. That's awesome. June Loco says, check out my channel. I've got a special guest at the end of the rip. June, I'm going to make you a mod real quick. Drop a link in the chat. Chris Croft says, not long after the first... After the first release... Wait, what? I'm in Australia, so that might be expensive ship... Wait, what? Not long after the first... I feel like I came into the middle of the conversation. Okay. You ordered those grips not long after he first released them. Got it. Yeah, that's definitely when he had the purple. Yeah, the purple's been gone for a little while, unfortunately. Where's Slappy? Which one do you want? Where are you? Where's Slappy? Oh man, I think Slappy might not be in here anymore. That's okay. We'll figure it out on Patreon. I have been doing so good at not clapping because I know that it makes your guys' heads explode. Well, wait, does it? Does it make your heads explode? I'm just assuming that it does, because it peaks the shit out of the mic, and yeah, and it scares Kristen and the cat. Hey, look at this! Look at this! All right, hold on. I gotta fill that up. We gotta fill it up. So, let's stop fucking around here. Let's, I've been on this, okay, so if you're new around here, micromotors are horrible. And they're horrible because the motor manufacturers just seem to not give a shit. They just they just make, I don't know, they don't pay attention when they're making micromotors, and a lot of the micromotors out there are terrible. The biggest problem in micromotors is cogginess. And what cogginess is when the motor is at rest, the magnets interact with the stator, and the you can also say the word notchiness. Like there's a notchiness to the motor in the way that it spins, and you can actually hear it. Ready? I'm gonna spin it right up. The mic is right here. I'm gonna spin it right in front of the mic, and you're gonna hear it. Ready? Hear that? That's not good. That's real bad. This is one of the more notchy motors in existence. So let's compare that to a 5-inch motor that makes a shitload of power too. Right? Ready? Can't hear anything, can you? It's because it's not notchy as hell. It's nice and smooth. Not all, but most 5-inch motors are very, very smooth, and it's one of the reasons why they fly so good. When a motor is very notchy, that notchiness, that cogginess causes vibrations. It literally causes vibrations. When you sit with a motor and you spin it in your fingers, If it feels like it's vibrating like crazy, it's gonna vibrate like crazy. It doesn't matter that it's on the quad and has electricity going. If it's super notchy and super coggy, it's fucked. It's gonna put a lot of bad vibrations into the rest of the rig, and that's gonna make it fly worse. There is a point where like there is like a gray area where like, okay, this motor's a little bit notchy but not that notchy. It's kind of smooth but still kind of coggy, and like it's there's no way to know this. The only way to know this is to buy one of every motor and literally sit here and go, oh, this one feels okay. I mean, it's I know it seems insane, but it's the truth. So every single order that I've done in the last like 4 or 5 months with any retailer, I have bought one micro motor. I just go into the micro motors and just pick one. And so this box is where we're at so far. And I talk about this on the stream as often as I can. I even have a stream where I tested motor notchiness from a couple months back. But there are so many more. Like I really thought by now I would pretty much have them all, but no, there's a lot. And the problem is they keep coming out. That's the real issue, is that more and more and more motors keep coming out. So this is hopefully gonna be the fix for that. Now, like, I am now having to use some of the Patreon money and some of the Super Chat money to eat and live and pay rent and pay taxes, unfortunately. Chris and I got just annihilated on our taxes this year. We filed an extension and we did it as late as possible, but we just got, yeah, it was bad. But it could have been a lot worse. But it was a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. But so yeah, if this is something that you guys are interested in, which it should be, because a smooth motor on a micro is a happy micro. A notchy motor on a micro is a miserable, horrible, just gut-wrenching everything experience. Like like, because you've already got the motors, right? So you paid at least $50 for these motors. You put them on, you didn't know better. Why would you? Right? You put them on there, it flies like ass. You start screwing around with the tune, it makes it worse. You're not like, it took me a long time at that. When I get a set of, when that happens to me, I put it on, go out for the maiden, flies like shit, motors are notchy. It took me a long time to have the discipline to come inside at that point, take those motors off, and just put them in this box. I have a box over there, and just never use them again, because it's basically having notchy motors on your rig is a mechanical system that's never going to work right. You're just introducing vibrations that are going to make the other vibrations happening. You're creating vibrations with the motor that are going to drown out the other vibrations that the PID loop and the filtering are trying to target and eliminate. It's just a nightmare. It's just a complete nightmare. Yeah, there are motors available that are not notchy, but they're hard to find. And I would love, and I've tried my best to find as many as I possibly can. I call them out every time a new motor shows up in a box and we do a mailbag. I take it right out of that box and I hold it up to the goddamn camera and I go, hey guys, the Flywoo NIN 1404 version 2 is nice and smooth. So that, and there's I'm gonna make a Google Doc, and I'm gonna make a Patreon post with it. Yeah, Rain Dogs. Dave C worked with iFlight on this motor for that long range rig. But I mean, it's just a motor. It'll work fine on non long range rigs. Also, other things like the motor shaft. Is it 2 mil? Is it 3 mil? Shit like that. There's some other stuff that I can tell you about these motors that will potentially save you $50-$60. So, super chats for the foreseeable future are going to be like non-giveaway super chats are going to be going towards this, and we did have a couple non-giveaway super chats. I just need to find them real quick. So hang 1 second. Let me just find the window that has... There it is. Okay. Got it. Viewer activity. That's what I need. Okay. So, Stock Racing Club was the first to donate towards this. Then it was Aber the Ham. Okay, so that's where we're at so far. So we're at $7. Now, the trick is remembering. One of every micro motor, $7 so far. There we go. Super chats moving forward. We'll go towards that, and it'll be great. Since we're talking about it, I can't believe I just did that. But I did. Let's go through them. Here's all the smooth motors. T-motor, F. This is a lot of these are older motors. Most of the new motors are way too notchy. Most of the older motors are nice and smooth. So I run old motors on most of my stuff. T-motor F20, beautifully smooth, beautiful motor. I'm just gonna tell you what the motor is, and then we're moving on. X-Nova 1804s, oh, so good, so smooth, and they've got a 3mm motor shaft. Oh, X-Nova 1804. Good as it gets for an Acrobat. Yeah, I don't know what these F20s are. Looks like a 1408 maybe. That would be my guess, is that it's a 1408. But it's nice and smooth. X-Nova 1406, kind of hard to find. Not as smooth as the 1804, but still plenty smooth. X-Nova 1406. Should I do that on everyone? I'm gonna. Fuck it, I don't care if you guys don't want me to. I don't care if it's weird. Smooth motors equal weak motors, it starts to say. Kinda, sorta. Not. Kinda, yeah. I mean, the Nachi motors tend to be very powerful. The problem is the motors just melt because they get so hot from all the vibrations. So you can't really use that power. I guess you could just filter the balls out of it and then, have a rig with a shitload of latency that doesn't handle prop wash well. But got to do what you got to do. Yeah, smooth motors don't have to be weak. Nachi motors don't have to be powerful. But typically, yes. Typically, a smooth motor will have a little bit less power. The trade-off is the fact that the smooth motor is not dumping all of these garbage vibrations into the error correction, the PID loop, means that they will run smoother and make more power. So, like, what ends up happening is smooth motors will make all of the power that they have available to them because they're running nice and smooth and happy. And then the Nachi motors will make the amount of power that the PID loop allows them to with how much garbage vibration they're dumping in. These RC and Power 1506s, for example, if you just run these on a thrust stand, they'll make huge power. but you put them on a quad and they don't make shit power because they're so notchy that the PID tune is sitting there just like, I don't know what to do, dude. You got this shit shaking me all over the place. Should I spin one way? Should I spin the other way? Well, now I should... Well, no, wait, now it's shaking the other way. Maybe I should stop the propeller now. Oh, well, now I should start the propeller. Oh, okay. Let me start the propeller. Oh, but now you're telling me the other way. I gotta stop the propeller again. Okay, I stopped the propeller. Oh, now, start it again? I just stopped it, you fuck. Okay, I'll start it again. Well, now you're fucking telling me to stop it now? You ship... Okay. 4,000 times a second, or 8,000 times a second if you have an F7 processor. So yeah, RCX 1506, notchiest, most useless motor I've ever soldered up to a rig. All of the 1507s with 14 magnets are all nice and smooth. So we're talking Zing 1507, nice and smooth, but 2mm base motor plate, very, very fragile, do not recommend. All of the 1507s actually, same thing, nice and smooth, but 2mm motor shaft, do not crash them. If you crash them, they will bend. I have an edit called Destroying a full set of Zings in one flying session. I wasn't trying to, I just went out and flew. And by the end of the session, all 4 Zing motors were completely annihilated because the little crashes that I got into during the session, I put every single crash in the edit. So you will get to see 100% of the abuse that these motors took. There weren't any big crashes. There was one real crash, and that's the crash that completely locked up 2 of them. It's at the very end of the video. The rest of the crashes were bullshit, and you can watch in the footage as the jello gets worse and worse and worse as the motor bells bend more and more and more from just bouncing into like Scraggle and shit. T-Motor F30. This is an 1806 big boy, nice and smooth. Starting to feel weird. 5-inch motors, nice and smooth. Betaflight 1505, same as their 1404.
12 o'clock.
Horrendously notchy. Do not want. Hype Train 1104, the little dab motors, beautifully smooth. These are made by T-Motor. Go figure. Nice and smooth. T-Motor knows how to make motors. Old ass. It says Raceflight on it, but it's definitely not made by Raceflight. I think this is a DYS motor. DYS 1407. Beautifully smooth. 2mm motor shaft, though. Do not recommend. Well, do sort of recommend because it's nice and smooth, and it's a little bit lighter than these 1507s. This is a Flywoo Robo 1507. This one, this exact one here, is nice and smooth. But if you buy one of these Flywoo Robo 1507s, there's a chance it won't be smooth. Flywoo made a 12 magnet version of this motor. They didn't change the number, they didn't change anything about it, and they sell that as well. So if you buy a Flywoo 1507, you are rolling the dice. You might get a super notchy one that's totally worthless. You might get a nice smooth one like I've got here that's fine. Still though, 2mm motor shaft. Do not recommend. I'm in the middle of an allergy attack, by the way. Happy Model 1102, nice and smooth. I need to just rip through these. This is an old-ass Force. I don't know. It's got Chinese characters, and then it says Force, and it's a 1404. Nice and smooth. I have no idea where this came from. Zing 1404. Not horrendously notchy, but pretty notchy. Right on the... somewhere in the gray area, somewhere in between the Zing 1404s. Probably flyable, but maybe just this frustrating to get tuned properly. FPV Cycle 2203s, beautifully smooth. All of FPV Cycles are beautifully smooth. 2.5 years ago, when Kebab came to me asking lots of micro questions when he was looking to start getting into the micro scene. This is like a year before the toothpick. Like every third message that I sent him on Facebook Messenger was, oh yeah, and by the way, smooth motors are required for micros. I drove that into his head so bad. And yeah, it definitely stuck. Even if it didn't stick, if you spend 10 minutes building micros and you have access to a couple different motors, as soon as you build that micro with a smooth running motor, it's going to fly so much better. You're going to go, holy shit, what's different? And you're going to realize it. Zing 0802. Somewhere in the middle again. They're okay. Happy Model 0802. About the same. Emax 1606. Very, very notchy. Edge Ted and I are going to be doing some tuning to get those right, but we are going to get them right. It's not as notchy as the RC in Power, but it's still notchy. 3mm motor shaft, big fucking deal. These motors are allowed to be notchy because they have the 3mm motor shaft. In my opinion, Hobbymate makes this. They call it a 1505 plus. What the plus means is +1, making it a fucking 1506. And it's made by RC and Power. It's the same thing as the RC and Power 1506. It's just as notchy. It's just as useless. Dave C. Flywoo NIN 1404. Not super smooth, but not notchy either. I wouldn't even put this in the middle. I would put this over closer to smooth. These are good. I'm gonna end up getting 3 more of these. This is the 1404 that I'm gonna end up. No, I'm not, because it's 12x12 mount. Fuck. That's a shame. Compared to the Zing, I don't think I've run these head to head like this, but the Flywoo is probably smoother. Yeah, Flywoo is definitely smoother. Not that much smoother, but for sure smoother. It's a shame that it's 12x12 mount base. The Zings are 9x9. Why no love for 12x12? Mainly because there are a bunch of frames that are 9x9 only, that are really good frames, like the Ripsqueak, like all of these Betaflight, right? The Betaflight 95X and the 85X, they're all 9x9 only. So yeah, finding a good, it's a little hard right now to find 9x9 motors that are really good. There's a million 12x12 motors that are amazing. But there aren't nearly as many 9x9s that are amazing. T-Motor F1507, beautifully smooth, 2mm motor shaft, do not recommend. Unless it's going on a Cinewoop, where you're not going to bang up the motors. Emax 1404, somewhere in between. You know what? This is just like the Dave 1404. In the middle, but towards the smooth end of things. Emax 1306, beautifully smooth and amazing motor. Emax 1306 4000 kV on a rig that weighs 200 grams all up is a goddamn riot. You'll love it. And then RCX 1404. For 2.5-inch props. Beautifully smooth. That's where we're at now. If you guys want to see more, make that number bigger. It's 5 after 12. I'm going to take something out of the title of this stream. What would you guys rather see me do? That's not a good question to ask. The real question is, what's quicker? Moving this into the red shifter's frame, or soldering up 6 motor wires. Soldering up 6 motor wires it is. I am going to remove... Well, no, screw that. We already talked about it once. We're going to talk about it again, and I'm going to leave it in the goddamn title. And then on Whoop Wednesday, we're going to do the frame swap. This is... Let me make sure I get it right. Oh, and there's some extra stuff that I want to show you guys too. Let me just take a second to give a big ass shout out to Red Shifters, R3D shifters. So I have I've given over the last 3+ years I've given a number of different manufacturers feedback, and I've always made sure that in my professional career I've been given lots and lots of feedback by clients and management, and I've also given lots of feedback as a project manager. And something that's really important when you're giving feedback is to just basically understand that the people that you're giving the feedback to have invested their fucking soul in that product. So if your feedback is, yo, this thing fucking sucks, you guys are assholes, like, that doesn't work, right? Even if you come to them and say, yo, this shit is, this frame is wobbly, what the hell, or, you know what I mean? Like, to give feedback, it's got to be like, hey guys, here's my experience. I had it in a such and such frame and it was fine, and then I put it into yours. I tried this, I tried that, right? Like, you just be cool, right? Like, just explain it, give them as much detail as possible. Be nice. You just have to just understand that, like, it's hard for that person, right? Like, I hope that every single one of you guys at some point in your life has had someone come to you and be like, hey, this thing that you did, it fucking blows. Fuck you. Like, it's important. It's important to be on the other side of that and understand how hard that is. And so, yeah, I've always made sure that I've provided feedback to manufacturers in a way that is respectful and kind and like valuable, and every single one of them has blown me off. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but yeah, and that's fine. Like, they don't know who I am, right? That's the other thing. Like, I'm sure they get a million emails a day from a million assholes going, fuck you. It's very hard for them to understand who knows what's what, and right. But Red Shifters have been the only FPV company. Well, not the only, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. They have been so interested in the feedback and have, like, gone way, way, way above and beyond to stick with me and to, like, try to make this work. And, like, I just haven't had that happen in the FPV world yet. And I'm so glad that, like, of all the companies to be doing that, I'm so glad it was them, because I really do think that that their platform is kind of perfect for carrying the Insta360 Go. We just need to figure out how to get the goddamn vibrations out of the gyro, and they might have done it. So this is their Zero Grav Pusher V2 prototype, and what they did, I don't have the V1 to show you, but we've been talking a lot in the last couple weeks about these, and I talked a lot to you guys about closing the box. Go, if you have a shoebox, take the lid off of a shoebox and take the shoebox from the corners and try to twist it. Give it a twist. What you're going to find is that without the lid, the shoebox will twist like absolute mad. Take the lid, put the lid on, and it'll be way stiffer. It's called boxing the frame in. It's the theory behind roll cages. It's the theory behind every structural thing in the universe. If you've got, like, a boat, this is also why convertibles are so wibbly wobbly. They don't have a top to the box. They're just like a boat. and a boat is going to be able to rotate and twist. What Redshifters basically did is they closed the top of the box. On the previous frames, all of the connection points were basically down at the bottom, and then they had one little set of connection points where the screw holes went through, which is a great design in terms of saving weight, which is a big deal with micros. But they 3D print their frames out of this incredible nylon stuff, I think, and 3D printing is not as stiff as molding. So what they had to do is add a couple of supports, and they didn't have to add much. They added them in really good locations, and they really did a good job. And my God, is this stiffer. This, I think this is actually now stiffer than the cockroach frame, and that's huge because the cockroach frames are like, they're the benchmark in terms of Whoop frames. And so yeah, I have really high hopes for this. Yeah, to give you guys an idea. So I'm going to try to use the same amount of force. But here's the cockroach frame, and I'm not cranking on it, but I'm giving it just enough to give it some nice wibbly wobblies, so you can see the. Let me try to get my fingers out so you can just see the plastic. There you go. So like that's how much the plastic is moving, right? There's your little wibbliness factor. And look at this guy. I'm gonna try to use the same amount of force. My fingers are moving, like my fingers are moving a lot, but the frame is barely moving. This is stiffer than the cockroach frame. This could be the one, but this is the smaller frame. I really want the bigger. I really think the bigger frame is better, like we were talking about earlier, to carry the weight of the Insta360 Go. This is the bigger frame, and this is the prototype V2. It's got the same extra bracing as this smaller 65 frame, but it's nowhere near as stiff. See it? See how much it's moving? That's because it's bigger, right? It's a lot bigger. Like, look at the, right? So it's considerably bigger, and when it gets bigger, the levers get longer, right? You're making a longer lever. So this is flyable, but I got to turn the filtering up like crazy. The sliders come down, but the amount of filtering goes up. So it feels a little latent, and yeah, I don't know. It's just not quite there. So this 75 still needs some more stiffness, in my opinion. I'm going to spend a little bit more time with it, but I'm pretty sure it still needs some extra stiffness. Maybe that's going to come from, I talked to Ryan Harrell from Mini Quad Test Bench. He's got a CNC router, or not router. He's got a CNC. And he said he can make me a little 1mm carbon fiber brace to connect these motor points to again, just continue to close the box. So I'm thinking that's where this one will go. But man, if I can get a little 65 into a frame like this, carrying the Insta360 Go up here, ooh, yeah, that's Whoop Wednesday, yo. I'll see you guys Wednesday, and we will see if this is the answer right here. But again, just, yeah, head on over to Redshifters, and just show them some love. They're doing it right. I'll let you know if this prototype is good to go. If I swap this in there Wednesday, you should all go buy this. Their frames are like $17. Like, they're really cheap. You can get an Insta360 Go mount. It's going to put your FPV cam up front so you don't have stupid ducts in view. They make them as a pusher or as a regular. They're good. Yeah. Get it. Let's do a little bit of soldering. Real quick. 6 solder joints, and then we can say that we worked on the ultimate CB3. B-Man FPV with a $5 super chat. $1 for the Motor Quest. Peep my question above. Let me know. All right, scrolling up. Looking for B-Man. Where's B-Man? Brandon's Baked Beans ordered the 1204 NIN V2s. Let us know how they are. They should be the same. Usually, oh wait, no, you said 1204. Never mind. I said 1402. Let us know how they are, Brandon. Let us know if they're... I think you've got enough motors that... you know what notchy versus smooth is. There's B-Man. So, I had a desync issue. Changed the ESC, which fixed it. When I was changing it out, I saw the capacitor was broken. I'm guessing that was the problem. Is the ESC still usable, or is it fried now? Usually, if it's one of the tiny little... If it's one of the little... if it's one of these little guys... The little rectangular bastards. Usually, those can fall off and you'll be okay. Usually, but not always. Is that what fell off? Was it one of those, or was it a bigger capacitor? If it anything other than those, those are the only thing that I've ever had fall off of any of our electrical components where it was salvageable in any way, shape, or form. So if it was anything other than those, it's probably effed. So yeah, that kind of sucks. Brian Ladbrawl, he's getting on the deal. $4.99. Keep those smooth motor recommendations coming. I will. Damn autocorrect, here's some more. All right, so I got to add $12. 12 plus 7 is a number. Carry the 2. Divide by 6. 19. I got there. Thanks, guys. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. It's the cap soldered to the power wires. Yep. That's your problem. So here's what happened, B-Man. The capacitor, when a capacitor is, when your quad's flying around, and for whatever reason, one of the leads lets go on the capacitor and then reconnects, it fucking falls out of the sky. Yeah, I've had that happen on 5-inch rigs. These caps are amazing. I love these caps. But the only thing not great about them is if under the cap, the posts that go up into the cap break, you can't see that. So this capacitor will sit in your rig with the post broken, and it'll like, so like every time you like jam it into something, like bounce off of a tree branch or something, that'll be just enough force for the post to move. It'll lose connection. It'll regain connection. It spikes the system. The flight controller shuts off, and your shit falls out of the sky. That is a very, very annoying failure that I have dealt with. So it's you could almost you could almost say, I almost think like that's kind of I feel like without the waffle cap that wouldn't have happened. But maybe not. Maybe not. No, it might have still happened, but you know what? It would have been easier to see. When the waffle cap is on there, it's harder to troubleshoot that because you can't see. You can't see in there. You gotta like, oh, it looks okay, and you can't like, yeah, it's hard to troubleshoot. That's what I'm trying to say. It's hard to troubleshoot. There we go. There we go. All right, we came in hot, but we didn't come in wet, and we're paying the price. That's what Michael Scott said. 1. Once I count to 6, we're done. Here comes 2. There's number 2. Who does he work for is the question. Here comes number 3. That's kind of gross. Number 3. Ew. Number 3 is a little short, but we're just going to ignore it. Just going to pretend like it's not too short. We're going number 4. I don't know what number 4 would be. All right. 5. Why am I still counting? I mean, might as well finish strong and say out loud with my mouth, number 6. And there we have it. The ultimate CB3 from hell and back is good to go. Or not, because I need to add a little bit of solder to this last little joint here. Just so he's nice and happy. And there we go. CB3 is back. While I was switching frames, I also switched it over to a RunCam hybrid. I also did something kind of fun here. In an attempt, so this is the removable arm CB3 frame. The problem is they use like I've yet to see a micro frame that doesn't do this, but they use the stack bolts as the second bolt for the arm. So in order to remove the arm, if you break the arm, you've got to take the whole goddamn stack bolt out. So what I did is I've got these M2 by 5mm spacers. That's going to be a bitch for you guys to see. This side will be easier. I have these M2 by 5. Come on, camera. The people want to see. There it is. M2 by 5 aluminum standoff on the bottom here, boosting everything up. And what that allows me to do is run an M2 by 7 up through the bottom into the bottom 2mm of that 5mm spacer. And then I'm running a second set of like M2 by 18s or so down from the top that use the upper 2mm of that 5mm spacer. It makes building the top part kind of a pain in the ass here. Like the where the screw is, where this screwdriver is coming down, like this is all a pain in the balls to build. But luckily, you don't really do much with these boards, right? Like you put them in there, and then if they fail, you swap them out. But arms, like in theory, you're going to swap out a lot more often. So this is a much more serviceable version of the CB3, which could be interesting. I might end up doing this same thing on the Ripsqueak. The only problem is like this is a big tall spacer on the bottom here. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of wasted space down here because of that 5mm spacer. In the olden days, what I would do to use that space is I would take my RXSR, I would depin it, and I would sneak it down in there. But nowadays I'm putting the RXSR back here on the in with the rear setup because there's some free space back there. So yeah, that's that. Thanks for hanging, guys. I can't believe any of you stay this late. License to Drive says, if I ever send you anything else, I should probably include my dead FUS 1106 3800 kV motors so you can find out for yourself just how goddamn notchy they are. Deal. I would, if any of you guys have like one motor that you want to, I mean, you all just saw. Oh yeah, right. Hey, you guys just saw the motors that I have. If you've got just one, or like maybe just two of a motor that I don't have, a micro motor, that's just sitting around that you're not going to use, mail it to me. Message me at CiottiFPV anywhere you want, and yeah, mail it to me, and I'll put it in the collection. B-Man says, actually, it was on a 5-inch Nazgul I got messed up. It's only ever happened to me on 5-inch rigs as well. All that being said, is that ESC fried since the lead on the cap? Nope. ESC is good to go. Well, I can't guarantee that, of course, but the ESC should be good to go. That failure doesn't hurt the ESC at all. It just resets it. Yeah. I guess it's not a voltage spike. It's a voltage dip. It's a big voltage dip because the capacitor comes unplugged. I don't know. It doesn't matter what happens, but yeah. Hey, there's June Loco posting that link. I'm gonna copy the link and watch it later. For the special guest, Double A still here. 6S full FPV never gives up. 6S full FPV. I've never seen that name before. So is this your first stream and you're staying for fucking 3.5 hours? That's. You're going to like it here, my friend. All right, guys, I'm out. I think I got everything. If I missed your thing, message me on the thing, and I'll thing you in the thing. Goodbye! No, let's give you guys a... I always like to try to welcome you. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I try to welcome you and send you back to your normal lives with some flying. So let me. Oh, hey, has anybody seen? Here's I will PayPal $4.20 to somebody that finds me the full speed frame. I don't want the whole build. I just want the frame, and I need the Insta360 Go mount. So I need this Insta360 Go mount for it, as well as the frame in the US. I'll send you $4.20 if you can find this for me stateside. And then I'm going to order it, because this is a 75, and it's a pusher. And it's a carbon fiber frame, so there's a chance that this thing will be stiffer than the Zero Grav, while I continue to hopefully work with them to make this a little bit stiffer. So yeah, there you go. If you guys want to earn money for me for a change, you're welcome, B-Man. You guys want the clam? Everybody wants the clam. Hold on. Let me give it a second so it syncs up properly. It hasn't synced up once right tonight.
諦めんなお前。どうしてそこでやめるんだそこで。もう少し頑張ってみろよ。ダメダメダメやめ諦めたら周りのことを思うよ。応援してる人たちのことを思ってみろって。あともうちょっとのところなんだから。俺だってこのマイナス10度のところしじみが取れるって頑張ってんだよ。絶対やってみろ。必ず目標達成できる。だからこそイエロービバ。 諦めんなよ。諦めんなお前。どうしてそこでやめるんだそこで。もう少し頑張ってみろよ。ダメダメダメやめ諦めたら周りのことを思うよ。応援してる人たちのことを思ってみろって。あともうちょっとのところなんだから。俺だってこのマイナス10度のところしじみが取れるって頑張ってんだよ。絶対やってみろ。必ず目標達成できる。だからこそイエロービバ。
8 years old, dude. 8-year-olds. I'm out of here. Thanks for hanging, guys. Hope you had a blast. Here comes some flying. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the FPV crate opening. Short little stream. And then Wednesday for Whoop Wednesday. Here you go. Here we go. Oops.